Game against the Broncos. Newton missed one game after a positive COVID-19 test. The 0-5 Jets will stick with Joe Flacco at quarterback for Sunday's game against the Dolphins. Sam Darnold still recovering from a sprained right shoulder. In the NLCS today, Game 3 with the Braves leading the Dodgers 2-0. The Dodgers nearly rallied from 7 runs down to win Game 2. Outfielder Mookie Betts.
Obviously we built a lot of momentum there. Just need to ride it into today and then win a game today and just stay on the wave. But we have to get it started today for sure.
Braves-Dodgers coverage starts 5:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio. At 8 Eastern, we'll also have Game 4 of the ALCS with the Rays trying to sweep the Astros. Saturday's game in Baton Rouge between LSU and 10th-ranked Florida is being postponed. The game is now scheduled for December 12th.
With thousands of locally owned Napa stores across the nation, chances are that wherever you call home, they do too. So whether you stop by a local Napa Auto Parts store, Napa Auto Care Center, or visit Napa online, you can count on Napa know-how.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
The Brain.
Hey, the brain got a poop.
And Mr. Toby Tom Play. We're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Oh, by the way, it's a hump day. Yeah! Let's hump, everybody!
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
No football in Gainesville this weekend.
It's hump day.
All you COVID counters.
Hump day.
All you chicken littles.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Doing your celebratory dance today.
It's hump day.
Because a bunch of young, healthy people have the sniffles.
Hump day.
Saints could be playing in Baton Rouge, though.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Robert Munson 1 hour from right now to give us the deets.
It's hump day.
Russ Mitchell in hour 3.
Hump day.
Yeah. Got a lot to do today, man. All right, glad you're hanging out with us. So Tuesday on the show, we learned that Florida had 5 positive COVID cases. This morning, every SEC coach was on the SEC coaches teleconference. Last evening, some word started to percolate and circulate a little bit that perhaps that number was going to tick up in Gainesville and the game was in jeopardy. So this morning, Ed Ogeron was on the SEC teleconference and was asked about the game and if he knew a timeline on if the game would be played.
Yeah, hopefully hopefully it would help us today. If the game is being played or not. But you know what? There's going to be a lot of doubt in our kids' minds. I understand that, but we need to stay focused. We've been through this before. There was a lot of doubt in the season that we wasn't going to play. I told the guys, block out the noise. The only thing we can focus on right now is to prepare to play and then just wait to see what they make a decision. If they tell us we're playing, we're going to be ready. If they're not, we're going to move on to South Carolina.
So that was at 10 a.m. Central Time. Ed Ogeron, unsure. At 1 o'clock Central Time, Scott Strickland, the Florida athletic director, held a press conference and made this announcement.
Due to a significant number of COVID cases, we are unfortunately announcing a postponement of the Florida LSU game that was scheduled for Saturday, and have worked with Scott Woodward, the athletic director at LSU, along with the SEC office, Charlie Hussey, Mark Womack, and of course Commissioner Sankey, to tentatively have rescheduled that game for December 12th. which, as you know, was a date put in the league schedule for circumstances like this, because we anticipated there might be issues as we went through the season.
So a few things. First and foremost, let me point out the fact, before we talked about this specific instance, that this is 2 consecutive weeks now where LSU has had some flux in its schedule, and both times the situations were handled early in the week and flawlessly. I would like to commend LSU Athletic Director Scott Woodward, and certainly Scott Strickland in this instance, and Greg Sankey, for publicly being able to get all of this done in a timely and efficient manner and to have a unified public front. Doesn't everyone feel better when you know the answer, everyone's on the same page, presenting the same thing, and you move on with a plan to move forward? What a stark contrast from what we saw in the Big Ten after their cancellation announcement, from what we saw from the SEC back in 2016 with these Florida Gators and Jeremy Foley. All this does, Scott Woodward and Scott Strickland today here collectively shine a light on how inept the Jeremy Foley, Joe Oliva situation from 2016 was. Okay, I digress. To this specifically, I know that the Chicken Littles and the COVID counters, some of you are already out there on Twitter. I know what you're doing. You're taking victory laps and you're celebrating. You're pointing the finger. You're saying, you see, I told you, on and on and on, and all that nonsense. I would like to point out and echo what you just heard from Scott Strickland. The SEC, when they built their schedule, knowing that to appease you Chicken Littles and COVID counters, they were going to have to shove Q-tips up kids' nose 3 times a week, knew this was an inevitability. That there were going to be positive tests and there were going to be postponements and reschedules. And we've talked about that literally now for months, that this was an inevitability. The thing I said for months and months and months is they're going to play because they have to play now. How does that look? I don't know. Conference only, shortened season. Do they have postponements? Are there fans? Some fans, no fans, all that change? Don't know. And we'll figure that out as we go. Well, lo and behold, we're figuring all that out as we go. But I'll remind you, this is why when the SEC constructed its schedule, they did it in the way it did. 10 games, every team had a bye, and they left open December the 12th, so that way if there was a game that needed to be moved, it could move into that window, and you could have the SEC championship game a week later on December the 19th, and then the next Tuesday, or the next Sunday, I guess, on the 20th, we would find out the college football playoff final ranking. So this actually was completely predictable that circumstances like this were going to arise. We've already seen it with Vanderbilt, Missouri, now with LSU, Florida, and there's a possibility that Ole Miss, Arkansas could be impacted. We'll talk about that a bit later as well. Maybe more coaches should have followed the LSU strategies. Many of you all who dumped on Ed Ogeron before the season started, we said most of our guys have had it. Well, that's why you're not seeing massive numbers of spikes from LSU, because I've told you this for months as well. You test positive, you don't have to test again for 90 days. That's according to CDC guidelines. So I'm not telling you that they were making positive kids sit next to the guys who hadn't had it yet at the lunch table, but it's also something that was inevitable, and LSU appears to have gotten through it already, which is why you're not seeing numbers and spikes in cases like this at LSU, period. Look, I'll also remind you that early in the Major League Baseball season, this happened. Remember when the Marlins had their spike and everybody, and I shouldn't say everybody, the Chicken Littles freaked out. They should cancel the season, a bubble immediately. This was doomed to fail. Well, the playoffs are going on and it's just fine. The NFL, the New England Patriots, the Tennessee Titans, we've seen games shuffled and rescheduled and a game played on a Tuesday. Okay, you have a game next week played at 4 o'clock Central Time on a Monday. Okay. We've had some teams shuffle their schedules. Okay. You want to know why? Because they're determined to make it work. They're finding a way, and I salute them for that. They're juggling a million balls in a rainstorm because you Chicken Littles won't play ball. You have to accept the fact that disruption is going to happen. It's part of this, and you find a way. It's what every league has done so far. It's what college football is doing. It's what the SEC is doing. And now it's LSU's turn in the rotation. That they in Florida will move this game to December 12th, and they'll move on. Now, I would like to point out that just from a practical standpoint, it is fundamentally absurd that at the University of Florida, you have 18 healthy young people who are either asymptomatic or experiencing mild symptoms. And you're postponing this game because of that. That annoys me to my core. Scott Strickland talked about that.
Fortunately, all those who are positive in this instance, including some coaches and some football staff, they seem to either be asymptomatic or only experiencing mild symptoms. So that's obviously a positive right now. Hopefully they'll continue to not have more severe symptoms.
I'll share this with you. I've shared it before, but I'll do it again. And a lot of my feelings on this stems from my own life experience, as is the case for many of you. And many of you know that my son was in the hospital for 7 months after he was born, and he has had and still has severe cardiovascular and respiratory shortcomings. He was essentially born with one lung and a bad heart. So he is very susceptible to stuff like this. And I can remember his surgeon, Dr. Olyinka Olatoya, who is maybe the greatest human being that I know. He's this amazing, sir. Google his name. He's a Nigerian-born surgeon who is just a magnificent human being and literally maybe the greatest human being that I know. And Erica would always get very anxious. And we would look at these monitors and all these numbers that we were tracking. And he would say, how does he look? And he would do this thing where he would he'd take his finger and he would circle his face. Anytime Erica was upset, like if his blood saturations was at a 75 and it should have been at like an 85 or a 90. And he would do this. How does he look? Well, he looks fine. Okay, so for this particular instance, don't chase the number, look at the patient. Look at what we're doing. You have healthy teenage and early 20 guys with a runny nose and a headache. They're fine. They're okay. The fact that we are fundamentally changing our way of life because of healthy young people with the sniffles is stupid. It is stupid. It is a stupid thing to do. But we must appease those of you, Chicken Littles and COVID counters out there, who are determined to wreck everyone's way of life. And I'm just not going to be silent on this anymore. So that's going to annoy some of you, and that's fine. A lot of you got after me yesterday on Twitter after my rant about New Orleans. But more of you were complimentary. More of you have said, thank you for saying what I've been screaming internally for so long. At some point, we got to get on with life, and I'm going to keep screaming it as often as I possibly can. So no LSU-Florida this weekend. When we come back, I do want to talk about what that means on the football field. We'll get to that next. Glad you're with us. It's AFR.
AFR.
Hump Day Shows brought to you by Pluckers, Nicholson, and Bluebonnet. Dine in or carry out 24 flavors of award-winning jumbo chicken wings, ice-cold draft beer, full-service bar, sports on TV. You got Major League Baseball playoffs going on right now. You need a place to watch? Get by Pluckers. No LSU-Florida game this weekend, so if you want to disengage emotionally a little bit and just sit back and watch every game without a rooting interest, get on by Pluckers. They got 60 flat screens at the Bluebonnet location. No matter where you go, even if you go to pee, when you're standing at the urinal, there's a flat screen above the urinal so you can watch the game. When you go wash your hands, because you should always wash your hands, there's a flat screen behind the mirror in the bathroom at the sink. It's at Pluckers. And did I mention award-winning jumbo chicken wings, ice-cold draft beer, a full-service bar? It's incredible. It's Pluckers. 2 locations. Nicholson just south of campus. Bluebonnet right in front of the Mall of Louisiana. Dine in or carry out. Remember, at Pluckers. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
$10,000 off MSRP on a new 2020 Ford F-150. Buy a new one for less than a used one. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million-mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Well, the reason why I would recommend him because he's trustworthy. I mean, attention and love and respect of who you are, what you are, and the purpose why you came, he honors that. Once you're with Murphy, you got a friend.
During these challenging times, we know your healthcare needs don't stop. Cancer, accidents, injuries, and heart disease are relentless. So we are relentlessly innovating to keep you safe, both virtually and in person, connecting you with providers remotely, advancing clinical spaces, providing rapid and accurate testing, social distancing, and certified cleaning protocols. We are Auctioner, and we will not slow down. Auctioner Health, innovating healthcare.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one but two NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front to Back Boat Services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front to Back Boat Services.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Love your feedback as always. You can always dial us up on the jimsfirearms.net phone line at 499-1045, 499-1045. If you want to talk about the decision to postpone LSU-Florida, jump aboard with us. You can tweet us at Matt Moscona, or you can always jump in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat on the Watch 1045 ESPN YouTube channel. Y'all feel free to jump aboard with us and get your thoughts heard. So LSU-Florida is postponed until December the 12th. We know that. Specifically from a football standpoint, I actually think this comes at a perfect time. And not that it's a good time for this to happen, but there's a lot of things that, as they're playing out, probably make this a net win for LSU. First things first. So Ed Ogeron on the SEC Coaches Teleconference today was asked for an update on Myles Brennan, who was knocked around pretty good, including that one play on the sideline against Missouri this past weekend. And apparently it's a little more serious than any of us knew, considering Myles finished the game.
He's doubtful. I think that maybe Friday he'll come around, but he didn't practice yesterday. He's not going to practice today. I haven't talked to Jack yet, but I know he's not practicing today. I think he's going to practice towards the end of the week.
So Myles Brennan was injured against Missouri. He didn't practice Monday or Tuesday, was not going to practice today, Wednesday. They hope maybe by Friday they could get him out there. That doesn't sound great, especially considering Friday you'd be traveling to Florida for a Saturday game. Now, we know that's not going to happen. So you were in a situation where you were very likely going to be without your starting quarterback on the road in Gainesville and having to start a true freshman. Here's Ed Ogeron talking about Max Johnson and TJ Finley.
Yeah, Max and TJ are getting 50-50 reps. They're very similar in a lot of ways. I say, Max is probably more of a runner a little bit. TJ has a strong arm, has had an excellent camp. I really think that both of them are phenomenal young players. It's hard to distinguish the difference between both of them. They're so good.
So you were in a situation where you were likely going to have to start a true freshman on the road at Florida. That hasn't happened since Jamarcus Russell back in 2004. And actually, let me refresh. Jamarcus wasn't a true freshman. He was a redshirt freshman, but that was his first start on the road. And if you remember, Marcus Randall came off the bench and led LSU, and they rallied. Joe Adai had a big day that day in Gainesville. That's not ideal, but that was likely the situation LSU was going to be in this week. It also gives you another week to get healthy. Let's not forget, you were in a situation where Ed Ingram didn't play this past week. Now, Ed Ogeron said he was going to go this week, but you still get another week to get him healthy. And we talked about it on Monday and on Tuesday, but I'll maintain that I'm not saying that an offensive lineman is going to swing a point spread, but if all else is equal and you have that goal line situation, I feel much better about Ty Davis-Price running behind Ed Ingram than I do Charles Turner. Your best interior offensive lineman is Ed Ingram. I mean, that's maybe your best lineman, period. I'd have felt much better about it if Ed Ingram was there. Now you get another week to get him healthy. We just talked about Brennan. Derek Stingley, Ed Ogeron said it on Monday, Derek Stingley sprained his ankle tripping over the stupid first down chain in that Missouri game. It clearly wasn't a severe sprain, but he gets another week to get healthy. And do you really want to take a hobbled Stingley to Florida against that passing offense? And then Eric Gilbert. He went to the medical tent several times this past week with the shoulder injury. He wasn't on the field late in the game for that reason. So you get another week to get healthy. You also avoid back-to-back-to-back travel. Remember, LSU was supposed to play in Baton Rouge last week. That game got moved to Columbia. So LSU was going to have to play back-to-back-to-back road games, which it hasn't done in the SEC in half a century. So you get a chance to get healthier. You avoid the back-to-back-to-back road games. You avoid taking a banged-up team on the road to Florida, which has been stellar. Offensively, Florida, 42 points and 464 yards per game. They've struggled a bit defensively, but if you were going to be without Myles Brennan on the road, trying to play keep up with that Florida offense with a true freshman, I'm not sure I'd have been so pumped about that. Instead of going to Florida, now you're home in a week against South Carolina, which is an inherently more winnable game. You're going to be favored at home against South Carolina as opposed to being a double-digit underdog on the road against Florida. What's more is this gives you another week to simplify whatever it is you're trying to do defensively. Ed Ogeron was asked today on the SEC Coaches Teleconference how that simplification was going.
It's been good. I think that the communication's been better. You know, every defense, Steve, is going to have a check or two. We've got to make sure that according to the formation and what they're doing, that our guys communicate well. They're on the same page. We're on the same page, we're fine. It's when we have bust or when we don't fit the run, our guys got to fit the run. We've been spending a lot of time on fitting the run and being in the right spot and just simplifying, not playing a lot of defenses. Let our guys get their cleats in the grass and play.
I don't know that I could spell it out any further. Of course you want to play, but my goodness, if this, and you never want that kind of delay or postponement or anything to happen like that. I mean, of course, we'd all like to have an uninterrupted season, but this is just the norm of what we're going to see right now in this COVID world and the way that things are being shuffled and realigned. But if there was ever a point on this schedule where you can say, yeah, let me skip that one and move it to the end of the season, it's right now. Brennan, Gilbert, Stingley, Ingram all get a chance to get healthy. You avoid back-to-back-to-back road games. Your next one is a home game against a team that you'll be favored against. Gives you another week to get your defense right. And don't you think this LSU team, do you agree with me that this LSU team is going to be infinitely better, exponentially better in 2 months than they are right now? Like, it would be hard to imagine them not continuing to progress from here to December. So when you do play Florida, you're going to be better. I mean, if you want somewhat of a parallel, think about 2001. That 2001 LSU team that had the Auburn game postponed because of 9/11, they got blown out at home by Florida. went on the road after 9/11 and lost at Tennessee. By the time November rolled around and Rohan's out there throwing for 528 against Alabama on the road, and then that postponed Auburn game came around the first weekend in December, LSU was rolling. They were a freight train. They were a top 10 team in the country by that point. I'm not telling you this team will be that, but I think they'll be much better in December when that game rolls around again than they are right now. They'll be healthier too. All right, it's after further review. Glad to have you hanging out with us here. We'll go around the SEC here in a bit. Taylor Calandro with Bourbon Dictionary in about 15 minutes from right now as well. Robert Munson is going to join us to start hour 2, LSU Senior Associate AD. He's been really kind to join us, and there's obviously some pretty significant news today with the Florida postponement and then with the possibility of the New Orleans Saints playing in Tiger Stadium. We'll get to that with Robert in about 34 minutes from right now. One thing I want to tell you about, and I will grant you this is just a plea from me. I was asked, many of you have followed our story with our son Drew over the years. He's 6 now, and he deals with special needs every day. And he, for the first time, this is a big year for us, Drew is going to school. He's going to St. Lillian Academy. It's a place many people may not know of, but it's a very small school that caters to kids with severe special needs. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but today they're doing their first ever Give Day. They set their goal at raising $10,000, and they had a committed $10,000 match, so it would be $20,000 in a day. And they asked me if I would mind being an ambassador to help promote this. Of course, I was all about doing it. They're already at $17,000. So they've already exceeded their goal by $7,000, and they have another offer, a match at an additional $10,000. So if they can get another $3,000 raised before the end of the day, they'll unlock $30,000 today in donations, which would actually push to 40. So if you'll allow me just a moment, we're exceedingly grateful a place like St. Lillian exists. I have a lot of emotion about this, and many of you know because I've talked about Drew for so long. I'm grateful a place like St. Lillian exists because it gives families like ours an option for our child. I'm very frustrated that our city doesn't have an option for kids like Drew. You know, I'm a tax-paying resident of East Baton Rouge, and there isn't an option for kids like Drew. You know, a public option. And then I'm equally very sad because I know while my wife and I both work and we're able to budget and afford to send Drew to this school, I know there's so many little kiddos that have special needs that aren't getting the attention they need that could help them be the best version of themselves because they might not be able to afford a place like St. Lillian. And if I had all the money in the world, this is the first thing I would do, is I would go underwrite this entire school, and I'd say any kid that has special needs that wants to be there can be there tuition-free and go. Like, that's what I would do, but that's not the reality. But what I can do is help them on a day like this where when I say, hey, $10 matters, $5 matters, it literally does. Like, you're talking about a small school that's only 10 years in existence that's trying to grow in our community to help families with special needs children so we can get to that goal of not ever having a child without an option for education and allowing them the opportunity to be whatever the best them they can be. So I'm not going to spend all day. I'm not going to do a ton, but I did want to say that if you have $1 or $5 or $10 or $1,000 and you can donate, please do. The link to donate for the St. Lillian Academy Give Day, it's pinned on my Twitter. It's pinned on my Facebook. I'll share it in the YouTube chat if you all are interested as well. But if you would give, I'd be extremely grateful. And to all those who already have given today, from the bottom of my heart, and to every family who walks this journey, thank you for, in a small way today, walking with us, and we appreciate it. All right, it is after further review. Thank you for indulging and allowing me that. We'll knock out a quick break. We'll come back. We'll go around the SEC.
AFR.
If you need dinner plans tonight, Ichiban is always a great option. Essen near Perkins, Airline Highway in Gonzales. Make tonight an Ichiban night with the best sushi, voted by you. Best sushi and best hibachi in the Best of 225 awards. Check them out at ichibanbr.com. To place your order, you can do it there at ichibanbr.com. Designate what time you want to pick it up, pay for it online, and then when you pull up, they have curbside to go. So if you don't want to go dine in or you're not comfortable dining in right now, that's perfectly fine. they can bring it to your vehicle so you can have a completely contactless experience when you dine at Ichiban. Or, of course, the dining room is open again. So if you want to go dine in for a date night, to entertain a client, whatever it may be, Ichiban's a great option. All-weather patio dining as we start to get into this beautiful fall weather. You can enjoy a great meal outdoors as well at both locations. Essen near Perkins, Airline Highway in Gonzales. Make tonight an Ichiban night.
This is it, what smart customers wait for all year. The Richards Honda Trade-In, Trade-Up event. Right now, get more money for your trade and a great price on something new. That's a win-win. Only at richardshonda.com. The smart choice.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I'm feeling good. So good. I just thought you should know.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Hey, football fans, T-Bomb here, reminding you that Hooters is your headquarters for football. If you can't get in, they still got the Hooters girls, the TVs, the wings, the beer, everything you love about game day. But what if you're watching at your house, maybe having some people over? You don't feel like cooking? Well, great. Hooters, they have your back. You download the Hooters app, you'll get a free app, and then you go and you pick up the food, you bring it home. Everybody loves you because you got Hooters wings, and game day, it's a match made in heaven. Download the app, get Hooters to go. Hooters, your headquarters for football.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Upgrading your ride is as easy as richardshonda.com during the Trade-In, Trade-Up event. It's a once-a-year event with great prices on every vehicle in stock.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
We roll along on a Hump Day edition of AFR presented by Pluckers, and glad that you are hanging out with us. Remember, you can always tweet the show at Matt Moscona, at 1045 ESPN. You can jump in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat. We appreciate your participation. Robert Munson in 26 minutes. We'll fill in some of the blanks on this possibility of the Saints playing in Tiger Stadium. Sean Payton, when he met with the media via Zoom, was asked about this possibility, and he endorsed it.
I don't think there'll be many challenges. I mean, it's right up the road. You know, you'd be playing on grass outside in a great environment. And so, you know, if it was playing it in the Dome with no fans or playing up there with 25,000 of our fans, then every one of us would make the second choice. So we would embrace it.
That's great to hear. So you have this unanimous support of this from Sean Payton, from obviously Mrs. Benson and Saints media relations all the way through LSU's athletic administration. And I will ask this of Robert Munson in 25 minutes. What are some of the logistical questions that need to be answered? I's dotted, T's crossed to make this happen. And for me, I'll tell you the one thing. And look, I did my spiel yesterday. I spoke my piece. Many of you heard it. Even if you weren't listening, you probably heard it because I yelled so loudly. It's on Twitter. It's on the After Further Review YouTube channel if you want to go hear my entire take on the whole thing. That's that. You know how I feel. I think you have really one fundamental flaw in this possibility. The next two Saints home games come the day after LSU home games. So next week, when the Saints are coming off the bye playing Carolina, LSU is playing South Carolina the day before. So could you realistically play a college football game on a Saturday and have the field ready for Sunday? I don't know. You could certainly clear the venue. I mean, you could clean it. You could have crews clean, get the field, get everything ready to host the Saints the next day. That's not a problem. It's what about the playing surface? Imagine if there was weather that came through. Like, what if it was a rain game when LSU played South Carolina? You chew up the field. Are you really going to go play an NFL game on that surface the next day? It is worth noting that LSU made a massive investment. We talked about this all offseason, right? LSU made a massive investment into upgrading the playing surface. Remember, like they built the surface up. They dug into the ground, built the surface up, improved drainage, everything underneath the field. I mean, it's gorgeous. It's literally the best the playing surface at LSU has looked in my lifetime, maybe ever. Like, maybe it's the best it's ever been. I just don't know if it's okay, if that's doable to play potentially games on back-to-back days. And if you get through November, theoretically, we'd be through Phase 3 at that point as well. So maybe you would have fans in the dome. So I don't know. I don't know if it's realistic, but I'm very glad that all parties are open to it, to making it happen, because I'm for progress, and whatever that looks like, I'm for it. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center and WilliamsonEYE.com. 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEYE.com. If you get to their Facebook page, man, you'll see so many of these videos. It's kind of crazy. Like, here's one of Dr. Blake Williamson sitting with Caleb Chasson of LSU, of course, who had his LASIK done, well, now with the Jacksonville Jaguars, had his LASIK done at the Williamson Eye Center. Caleb Chasson, Devin White, Warren Morris, Paul Maneri, me, Jimmy Ott, Ben Mintz. Like, we've all had different refractive issues, and Dr. Blake Williamson has taken care of all of us. He can do the same for you. Whatever your refractive issue, if your goal is to see without contacts or glasses, no matter how young, how old, what your refractive issue is, the Williamson Eye Center has a solution, but you got to go for that consultation. Call today, 924-2020, 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEYE.com for the Williamson Eye Center. All right, it's After Further Review. Do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, excellence in imaging solutions. The Ole Miss Rebels.
Lane Kiffin told the media on Wednesday for the first time his team's having issues with COVID. He would not be specific on numbers, but confirmed that a number of guys are out with positive tests or contact tracing. So Ole Miss's game at Arkansas Saturday could be forced to be rescheduled. But Kiffin told reporters, quote, "We could play today, so we'll see." None of the positive COVID-19 tests have been among offensive starters, however, but the Ole Miss 247 site is reporting that the defensive front has been affected.
The Auburn Tigers.
Auburn, however, reported no new positive COVID-19 cases from the latest round of testing. Heading into this weekend's game against South Carolina in Columbia, that of course is LSU's opponent next week, Auburn has not reported a COVID-19 positive test since the second week of September. We'll remind you that Vanderbilt last week played its game against South Carolina with just 56 scholarship players, and the game this week against Missouri has been postponed, and we know that LSU and Florida has also been postponed, keeping our eye now on Ole Miss and their game this week.
The Tennessee Volunteers.
Tennessee offensive lineman Jerome Carvin and Jameer Johnson remain questionable for the Vols game against Kentucky on Saturday. Both players practiced on Tuesday. Pruitt said there'll be a game-time decision. Johnson has missed the last two games with an ankle injury. Carvin started the first 2 games of the season at right guard before being sidelined last week with an undisclosed injury.
The Arkansas Razorbacks.
And Omaha, Nebraska punter Patrick Foley has committed to Arkansas. 6'3", 200 pounds, chose the Razorbacks over South Dakota. Had a lot of interest also from Nebraska, Kansas State, North Dakota State, South Dakota State, and Minnesota State. Oh, well, the schools love that punter. 5-star punter as rated by Cole's Kicking. Of course, the traditional scouting services don't rate kickers. Arkansas currently has 19 scholarship commitments for the class of 2021. There you have it. That is Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. Shout out to our guy, Trey Beal, and our friends at Gulf Coast Office Products. They're online at gcopnet.com. gcopnet.com for Gulf Coast Office Products. Had lunch today, as a matter of fact, with my buddy Trey Beal. Awesome guy, man. If you need face-to-face sales service after the sale, there's just nobody better. And with offices in Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, and the North Shore, and warehouses, all those places, they can get to you same day or worst case scenario, next day by 10 a.m. It's Gulf Coast Office Products. gcopnet.com for Gulf Coast Office Products. All right, to add further review, glad to have you hanging out with us here. Appreciate everybody who's jumping in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat. We'll get to some of your comments when we come back. Also, I want to wrap up the hour. Bourbon Dictionary, Taylor Calandro joins us. So if you got your questions about booze, feel free to join us. Pretty good opportunities. The weather is getting a little bit cooler. And you got no game for LSU this weekend. Maybe it's an opportunity to throw something on the grill, pour yourself a little something. A lot of you be getting out to the hunting camp. Here's your chance to get your booze questions to Taylor Calandro for our Bourbon Dictionary segment. That is next, and then Robert Munson in about 19 minutes. Stick around. AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Premier South Roofing and PremierSouthLA.com, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, North Shore, and online at PremierSouthLA.com. No matter where you are in South Louisiana, Premier South Roofing will come to you. Of course, they're open in Lake Charles as well. So everyone affected by Hurricane Laura and Delta, which came through this past week, when you're ready and it's time to start rebuilding post those storms, Premier South Roofing can help. If you need a roof repair or a full roof replacement, they can handle everything from that first call to the insurance company all the way through the completion of the work. And they are working round the clock right now to make sure that they get your job done in a timely manner to get you back to your life. It's Premier South Roofing. They're A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Super Service Award from Angie's List. Torch Award for Ethics in Business. They do beautiful work on any type of roof. If it's a shingle roof, if it's gutters, metal, slate, tile, they do it all at Premier South Roofing. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, North Shore, Lake Charles, PremierSouthLA.com.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Service Master Elite create clean, disinfected work environments.
As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Saban office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Saban have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
You know that I got it, yeah. You know that I got it, yeah. All this game up in my pocket, bet that you can't stop it. You know that I got it.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
They're the gang with the slang. This is Bourbon Dictionary with Matt Moscona and Taylor Calandro.
Weather's getting cool. Great whiskey drinking weather. Taylor Calandro joins us, Wine and Spirits Director over at Calandro's. 2 locations in Baton Rouge. What's up, dude?
Not much, Matt. What's happening?
Well, you sent me a picture earlier today of a giant pallet of booze. Explain.
It's our Whistle Pig 15-year barrel pick that came in today. That pallet of whiskey is the equivalent of like a Honda Civic.
It's massive. How many bottles?
I think the barrel yielded like 190 bottles or something like that.
Oh my
God. We took most of it and we sent some of it to Government Street. I'm not sure how it broke down, but yeah, we got most of it over here.
Well, we're going to get questions. So if you got a question for Taylor, you can fire away. You can tweet me at Matt Moscona. You can jump at the Bayou Ford YouTube chat. Or I actually have Facebook Live. We're going to try this on Facebook Live for those that want to ask a question. Go to my Facebook page, the Matt Moscona AFR Facebook page. So we'll jump into that in a second. Give folks a rundown right now, Taylor. Weather's getting cooler, nicer. It's certainly whiskey drinking weather. What seems to be moving right now?
It's whiskey and red wine, man.
Yeah,
selling a lot of it. Yeah, I mean it's definitely getting cooler in the evenings. This weekend looks to be really, really nice. It's still too hot during the day though. I was outside earlier today. It's just warm, but yeah, I mean whiskey. Football season and the weather getting cool, whiskey always takes off big time. It never really slows down a ton, but this time of year, it's really, really taking off.
Let's get to questions. Randy Dabdoob on Facebook says, Angels envy, yes or no?
I say yes. What about you?
So I like Angels envy. I don't like that its price point has increased over the last couple of years.
Based on taste, yes or no?
Based on taste, well, see, for me, yes, but for me, that's not the question because I'm a value buyer. Like there are things that cost $80 that I think is good, but I'm not going to pay it. There's things that cost $20 I think is crap, and I'm not going to spend $20 on it. But yeah, I like Angels envy. I just wish it wasn't $50.
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Okay. Todd Jones asked Taylor, this is in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat, what's the sweetest flavor whiskey for a Mickey? What's a Mickey? Why don't I know that?
I don't know what that is either.
What's the sweetest flavor whiskey? maybe it's a typo.
The sweetest flavor. The sweetest whiskey I've ever had is Angel's Envy Rye.
No doubt.
And it's delicious too. But it is super sweet.
That is that's a standard by which rye shouldn't be judged because it's a rye really only in name. It's finished in rum casks.
Yeah.
It is syrupy. I mean, it is almost like this thick syrupy texture. I mean, it's magnificent, but it's not it's not really a rye. Does that make sense?
Yes. If you're looking for a sweet whiskey, that is the sweetest whiskey I've ever had.
It's also going to run you about $90.
Yeah, 100, I think. Yeah,
it's
but
100
yeah,
now.
it's
there you go.
It's
Angel's
up
Envy's
there.
price is going up. Kirk
Oh, yeah.
Taylor on the Facebook chat said, "How are the allocations done, and how's it determined what stores get what?"
That's a good question. Allocations, it just depends. It varies from company to company. It's usually based on just your sales throughout the year of certain products. Sazerac has a huge portfolio. They base a lot of their sales off of stuff that you would have no idea that Sazerac makes.
Yeah.
Like
Fireball.
Well, yeah, Fireball, but like Rain vodka. They used to make this gingerbread cream that they based allocations on. Just stuff way out there. Taka, stuff like that.
They make Southern Comfort.
Southern Comfort. One of their big things right now, especially on-premise really restaurants and bars, really a thing right now, but Wheatley vodka.
Mm-hmm.
They're pushing Wheatley vodka really hard. They want Wheatley vodka to be like Tito's.
Let's get. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, so it's basically it's just based on sales basically throughout the year.
Brandon English, when's Calandro's Old Elk Honey coming out?
Old Elk Honey. Huh? I didn't know we had an Old Elk Honey.
Very
or
good.
They had an Old Elk Honey.
Let's move along. Nathan Norman, What is a sour mash? You put in. Why does it suck?
I love sour mash. Sour mash is just basically redistilled ingredients from a fresh batch. So they take it's almost like sourdough starter. They take fermented mash and they redo it and re-ferment it again.
Interesting.
I like sour mash. I don't know about you, but I like sour mash.
Yeah. Brandon F. What bourbon will help me forget an LSU loss?
Oh my God. A lot of it, especially after this weekend. I'm almost thankful that we're not playing this weekend, to be honest with you.
It's going to be better in the long run. Shelby said, "Ask Taylor, are there any differences between Canadian, Irish, Japanese, and Tennessee whiskey outside of where they come from?" It's a good question.
Yeah, there's different flavor profiles. Irish whiskeys tend to be lighter, easy drinking because they're distilled multiple times, which is unusual for whiskey. Compared to like American whiskey. And I would say Scotch is Scotch. And it depends on where it comes from in Scotland or how it tastes. There's 5 different regions and they all taste different. And Japanese is the best way to describe Japanese to somebody is a mixture. If bourbon and Scotch had a baby, that's how I would describe Japanese whiskey. It's usually really good.
Ask Taylor, most expensive bottle you've dropped? Oh, you've dropped. Have you ever dropped and broken an expensive bottle?
Yeah.
Did your dad kill you?
I'd say no, he didn't kill. I'm still here. I don't know, probably $200 or $300 bottle. I've dropped a lot of bottles. It's hard to keep up with, but nothing like crazy. Now, one of my coworkers at his old job dropped the Louis the 13th, and that was his last day of work for that particular liquor store. So,
Ryan Jackson said, "Ask Taylor, how often are you available in store for a guided tour?"
You want a guided tour of a grocery store?
Well, probably for I would say more of I'm sure a Q&A. You know what I mean? If someone came in and they wanted to sit there and talk to you and ask you a bunch of questions about stuff.
Man, I'm here Monday to Friday usually. Every now and then I'll be here on a weekend, but Monday to Friday, regular business hours, I'm here. I'm around. Just ask for me. You might not see me, but I'm here.
Holger Heap, how much is that Whistle Pig?
Which the new barrel pick?
Yeah.
It's going to be in the $250 range. It's a 15-year, so we're taking a giant leap with this barrel.
Why? What do you explain?
Well, I mean, you don't usually just go out and buy a $20,000 barrel of whiskey. You know, I mean, we're taking a big risk with it, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it's gonna take a long time to sell. So we'll see. I don't know.
Let's see. We got 60 seconds. One more. What's the update on the raffle?
We're still mulling it over. It's like I said, we'll have something by the end of October, whether it's virtual, an announcement, I should say, an announcement by the end of October, and we'll probably announce it on this show.
I love that. I love exclusivity. Taylor Calandra, Wine and Spirits Director over at Calandra's 2 locations, Perkins near Seagan and Mid-City right there on Government Street. Thank you, dude.
All right, Matt. Thanks.
All right, man. We'll see you. It's After Further Review. Appreciate the interaction, man. That's going well. I know everybody on Facebook was like, I can't hear. That's really my bad. I know you couldn't hear, but I used you to get questions. So you can go back and listen on demand at 1045ESPN.com. And thank you for that. Well, I got a quick break. Top of the hour, get you caught up on Sportscenter national headlines. When we come back, LSU Senior Associate AD Robert Munson joins us.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by GMFS Mortgage and GMFSmortgage.com, changing lives since 1999. I had a good conversation today, as a matter of fact. It looks like interest rates, although they will not last forever at these historic lows, could be here for a little while longer. So it's a great time right now to take advantage of these historically low interest rates. If your rate is above a 4, I cannot stress this enough. If your rate is above a 4 or you don't know what your interest rate is on your home, call GMFS Mortgage. Get in touch with a local loan officer near you. I've told you my own personal lender is Doug Bickley. You can call Doug, or you can call Ryan LaRusse, or you can call any of their dozens and dozens of loan officers all over the state that can help you realize if you can realize the American dream of home ownership, build that home of your dream, or refinance your mortgage and save money monthly on your mortgage payment. In some instances, we've seen people skip a payment or 2. How much could that change your life and reestablish your family's budget? GMFS Mortgage. GMFSmortgage.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not 1 but 2 NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front to Back Boat Services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front to Back Boat Services.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge. Innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Callahan Injury Lawyers.
This is Sportscenter.
I'm Doug Brown. ESPN's Field Yates reports when the Patriots get back on the practice field tomorrow, quarterback Cam Newton will be there. Newton could be back on track to start Sunday's game against the Broncos. Cardinals linebacker Chandler Jones will have season-ending bicep surgery. He got hurt against the Jets Sunday. He'll need 3 to 4 months to recover. For the first time since 1949, the NFL is canceling the Pro Bowl. Although the teams will still be named, Las Vegas, which was scheduled to host, will host in January of 2022 instead. The Braves lead the NLCS 2-0 over the Dodgers. Atlanta manager Brian Snitker says his pitching staff has done a good job on the top of the Dodgers order.
We got some really capable left-handed options in our bullpen, and the way their roster is, and their lineup is situated, mainly that it's just kind of worked out.
Our Game 3 NLCS coverage starts at 5:30 Eastern on other ESPN radio outlets. We'll also have Game 4 of the ALCS starting at 8 Eastern Time.
With thousands of locally owned Napa stores across the nation, chances are that wherever you call home, they do too. So whether you stop by a local Napa Auto Parts store, Napa Auto Care Center, or visit Napa online, you can count on Napa know-how.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
I appreciate it, bud. Have a good one.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
The brain got a poop. And Mr. Toby Tom Play. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Two really gigantic stories involving LSU in the last 24 hours. One is that the New Orleans Saints are entertaining the possibility of playing games in Tiger Stadium. The other, we know that LSU in Florida today has been postponed due to Florida's COVID-19 outbreak. Robert Munson, LSU Senior Associate AD, has been very kind with his time, really in these unprecedented times, to give us answers and information and access and answer your questions. He's good enough to join us here again today. Robert, thank you as always. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Are you sure we only have 2 major stories today?
Are there any other ones that I'm missing? Like, should I ask you about Myles Brennan?
I'm losing track at this point. The count keeps going up, it seems like.
Well, let's start with today. And in the news that the Florida game is postponed. Can you walk us through kind of how that communication between LSU, Florida, and among LSU, Florida, and the SEC all goes down?
Well, obviously, it was a pretty short period in terms of the turnaround. We really got wind of it on Monday, Matt. Got some information that this was going on, and we talk with our colleagues and with the conference every single day, particularly during the past few months. We're on the phone all the time, all of our departments. So we got some pretty good information on Monday, and we're able to share that. The conference was able to share that with us, and just constant contact after that, following what was going on, understanding this could certainly impact our schedule. And really by yesterday, it looked like, this is probably going to impact the schedule. We should start thinking about what's next.
Now, the league, when they put out the schedule, obviously built in that December 12th buffer date. Was it just that cut and dried to say, okay, that's it, or were there other options discussed?
Well, it's tentative at this point. It's not written in stone. Of course, Matt, I guess nothing is written in stone right now,
Right.
But it is the tentative date. It's the cleanest date out there. It's the one that allows us to play this game and not have to go through the process of rescheduling multiple other games since there's not a shared open date. So, I mean, it is the cleanest date. It's the one we sort of quote unquote settled on for now, but it is tentative. I would expect it to be that date, but things obviously are changing.
I know you don't like to exist in hypotheticals, which I understand, but like what would be another option?
Well, again, you'd have to look at moving multiple schedules in order to get an LSU-Florida game before that date. So that would involve other programs, other games, other days, and it gets a little bit complicated, which is why the 12th is that kind of easy place to land.
Safe to say that it's also even more important now that LSU did, even though the result wasn't what we wanted, that LSU did play at Missouri this past week, because then you'd be looking at really rearranging 2 games on the schedule.
It is. It starts to boggle the mind a little bit when you think about the things that can happen and could have happened. Certainly the conference has had a lot of luck up to this point. I hesitate even calling it luck because it's really months of planning. And part of that planning is the contingency, the reality that these things are going to happen. This isn't something that comes as a surprise to anybody. You don't want it to happen, but you plan for it. And part of that planning is to have those constant conversations. And it is every single day that we are talking and providing detailed information with each other, because we know that this is possible.
Is Robert Munson our guest, LSU Senior Associate AD. He's on Twitter at Robert J. Munson. And Robert, I'll give you an attaboy. Very good about responding to tweets and interacting if fans have questions. So it's a really good pipeline for information if you want it. If you have questions, we'll get your questions for Robert. Tweet me at Matt Moscona, or if you're in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat, jump in there, and we'll make sure we get your questions for Robert as well. One more on the LSU-Florida postponement. This is 2 weeks in a row now where we've seen an LSU game altered. In 2 weeks, Robert, where it seems like it's just been very smooth. Can you speak to that, about how it appears, from the outside looking in, that both of these games, it all happened just very, I don't want to say effortlessly, but smoothly among all the parties?
No, I would agree. In fact, I got a number of texts today from folks asking me how crazy it's been, and the response is it's not been crazy. It's not been expected necessarily, but these are things that we have planned for. You and I, Matt, have talked multiple times. This all started in March, not just the pandemic, but the planning for the fall sports season began in March. When you start that early and you have the kinds of conversations that we're all having as a conference with each other and with the conference itself, these things are a little smoother when they occur. You're responding, not necessarily reacting. And so is it smooth all the time? Of course, it's not that way all the time, because you're dealing with an unprecedented pandemic situation. Nobody quite knows what the next day is going to bring. But when you plan for contingencies and you expect the unexpected, you can make well-informed decisions when those times come.
All right, let's talk about the Saints potentially playing in Tiger Stadium. When, I would assume the organization reached out to LSU, when did that first happen?
Well, first of all, Matt, I heard your rant yesterday. I don't often have the opportunity to listen, but I got to listen yesterday. I have to say it was very passionate.
You've known me for some time now. Would you expect anything less?
Well, what I didn't know is I listened to it first, and then I saw a video. I didn't realize you had a bottle of Sazerac within arm's reach the whole time, which I thought was a perfect visual.
Always. The Sazerac rye, the product placement, I'm all about it. And you know what? And it's almost like I forget sometimes that this isn't really, it's a desk prop, but it's an actual bottle. At any moment, I'm actually proud of my restraint. At any number of moments during the show over the past months, I could have opened that bottle and just sat here. And
that kind of would have been the moment. That would have been a mic drop type moment. As great as the speech was, as entertaining as it was, I was disappointed to not see you do that at the end.
Well, you know what? We'll go do a post edit, and I'll make sure that I clip that on.
Yeah, there you go.
Just drink straight from the bottle. So, all right. So
I'm sorry. What was your question? I kind of forget.
The first question was, when did the Saints first reach out to LSU about the possibility of playing in Tiger Stadium?
Late last week, prior to the Missouri game, and really it was more, hey, look, is this something you guys could do? Is this even a possibility? I know obviously there was 2005 where the Saints played here at Tiger Stadium, dramatically different situations, but also dramatically different times. There are a lot of things that are different about the NFL versus the college game these days, particularly with facilities, technical issues, logistics, et cetera. So they wanted to kind of pick our brains a bit and see if this was even a possibility. And it is, and we welcomed the conversation.
So they reach out, they ask if it's a possibility. The LSU response initially is?
Yes, it is a possibility. Now, a number of things that we don't know because we're, clearly embroiled in our own protocols and our own facilities is, what exactly are the NFL protocols right now? How are they different? What do we need to prepare for, not only with, respect to COVID, but just in general, from a television perspective, communications perspective. So there were some unknowns that we're still working through, frankly, and will be working through. But the bottom line from that conversation was, yeah, we're open to it. If we can be a good neighbor and help out, we'll do what we can.
What would be the earliest date that LSU could host a Saints game?
No clue. In terms of could, I guess we could turn it around pretty quickly. What will be, I don't know. We haven't talked about dates. We haven't talked about games. We've only talked about possibilities. It's really been exploratory just to see if we could do it. Exploratory from our standpoint of what exactly would that mean? What would we need to have set up and ready to go? And we're still working through all that.
What would be the biggest logistical hurdles in hosting the Saints?
So I asked my colleague, Dan Gaston, that earlier. And by the way, Dan hates it when I say his name on radio. So obviously I have to do it. Yep, I have to do it as often as possible.
Hey, Paul, get his picture, please. Put Dan's picture on. I'll find it.
Yeah, he's going to love that. So I asked Dan that this morning. I said, look, what is the biggest challenge? And the biggest challenge for us is technical. There are a number of issues with communications and televisions and things like fiber optic runs that we're going to have to do throughout the stadium. Not huge mountains to move necessarily, but just a number of technical differences between how the NFL functions every Sunday and how collegiate athletics functions every Saturday. Things we can do, we just got to get on them.
All right, Paul, put it up. There it is. Here it is. There's Dan Gaston right there. Senior Associate AD, Athletics Facility Management. Shout out, Danny boy.
He's going to love that.
A big full screen graphic right there with his name and his photo. What about, and some are asking, what's the benefit for LSU hosting the Saints?
I don't know that we look at it as benefit or the alternative. I think, again, we just look at it as being a good neighbor. These are just, I think, Scott said it yesterday, these are extraordinary times. If you can help, I think that's in our personal and individual lives as much as it is as institutions, particularly within the state of Louisiana. We need all the help we can get. If this is something that assists the Saints, it's good for them, it's good for us, we'll do it. I don't think, we certainly didn't answer that call and think, what's in it for us. Don't get me wrong. We've got to make sense of it with everybody, but it's really just more about helping out where we can.
Is one of the biggest hurdles that I thought of, Robert, is the field. Could you logistically play a game on Saturday on a grass field and then turn around on Sunday and play again?
Yeah, I think we have probably the best turf guys in the country. And this field that we have here right now, Matt, it's brand new. We've actually only played one full game of football on that field. And my understanding is the drainage on it excels. In fact, it's almost a little bit too good. We've had to slow down the drainage a bit so the grass can pick up all the nutrients from the rain. But we're pretty confident in that field. It was tested last week to make sure it's up to par from an NFL standpoint. It's more than up to par, to say the least. So while we haven't experienced yet a turnaround like that with this field because it's brand new, we're in a pretty good place because it's brand new.
Understood. Financially, would there be a benefit to LSU hosting the Saints? How would that work with ticket sales and money?
Don't know yet. Don't know how the ticket sales would work. We have not come anywhere close to talking about money. Again, all exploratory conversations. It clearly would need to make sense for everybody. But again, we're more interested in being a good neighbor on this.
Anything else that LSU fans need to know today that we have not covered?
No, I think we've covered most of the big ones today. I have to say, when you and I first talked about me doing this every Wednesday, I had no idea what I was going to get into at that point. Did not realize how many things were going to change every week. So, we'll talk again next week, Matt, and we'll see what's up, what's going on. I hope that we are in a place where we're getting ready to play a home game again, just the second one of the year. And if anything changes, we'll certainly be in touch with our fans and with you, and we'll get it out there.
And you could come in studio, and we can open the Sazerac and have a pour.
See, now you're talking. That's a much better invitation than just calling me every Wednesday afternoon.
Well, come on, man. We got you. Come on. Open invite if you want to come in studio. We'll pour the Sazerac, pour the Sazzy, get you feeling a little loose, and then we'll let we'll let all the home run hitters, the audience, come in and ask you questions after you're good and liquored up.
Yeah, a good friend of mine would call that a CLD, which is a career limiting decision. So I might come in studio, but I don't know if I'm going to be partaking in too much whiskey at that point.
He is Robert Munson on Twitter at Robert J. Munson. Go give him a follow. He's really good about interacting if you have questions. LSU Senior Associate AD. Thank you for the time, sir.
Thank you, man.
All righty. It is after further review. The Saints did not suspend Michael Thomas. Did you hear this report? We'll talk about it next. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Carriages in Bocage, carriagesbr.com, carriagesbr.com. My goodness, what an amazing time to get by Carriages in Bocage. Fall is upon us, y'all. The weather is getting so nice. It is a perfect time to go upgrade your fall wardrobe, be it your wardrobe or your footwear. They've got new arrivals from Martin Dingman you can go check out right now. Also, the boot from New York, you can check those out as well. Your classy, dressy footwear. If you need accessories like a money clip or a belt or a watch or cufflinks, they've got you covered. And officially licensed LSU game day gear. The College Vault Series is back. Sailor Mike, the alternate logo from the coach's logo from the 1970s, officially licensed LSU game day gear. It's all at Carriages in Bocage. And, of course, they got the best in-house tailor. So if you want a suit, a sport coat, a dress shirt, custom made for you, they can do it and make it fit your specifications. Carriages in Bocage.
At Corval Toyota in Opelousas, you can get into a RAV4 for $3,000 off MSRP. That's right, $3,000 off MSRP. And we have plenty in stock. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
At GMFS Mortgage, thanks to you, we've been changing lives for over 21 years. So far this year, that includes providing thousands of meals for the homeless, donating and helping raise $125,000 for the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, feeding hundreds of police officers during the stay-at-home order, and feeding local nursing homes. So if you're ready to buy, build, renovate, or refinance, choose a local lender that's changing lives in our community. Choose GMFS Mortgage today.
GMFS, changing lives.
Hello?
What's up, E? What you doing?
Chilling at the office working. You?
Hanging at the job site. Chilling.
Roof's up?
Hey, Greg, roof up? Roof's up. Roof's up.
Roof's up.
Roof's up?
Roof's up.
Roof's up! Roof's up! Beautiful roof every single time.
True. True.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
$10,000 off MSRP on a new 2020 Ford F-150. Buy a new one for less than a used one. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty, and with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
We appreciate Robert Munson, appreciate Taylor Calandro, Russ Mitchell next hour. Remember, if you missed anything, AFR On Demand presented by Breck Golf. Book your tee time, golf.breck.org. Golf.breck.org. With 6 courses across the greater Baton Rouge area, there is a course for golfers of all skill level. Check them out, golf.breck.org. So the Saints didn't suspend Michael Thomas? This is from Mike Florio at Pro Football Talk. And I will grant you that maybe part of this is an assumption he is making based on information he has instead of a direct report. But the headline at Pro Football Talk reads, Saints didn't suspend Michael Thomas. It can't be any clearer than the way Florio wrote it. And what Mike Florio is reporting is that, well, apparently what he got is the letter that the Saints sent Michael Thomas. So Thomas, of course, look, I'll pull this up for you here. You can see the headline for yourself. Paul, if you want to show that to our people. I mean, this is Pro Football Talk, Mike Florio, 12:46 p.m. Eastern. Saints didn't suspend Michael Thomas. I mean, and he writes that Pro Football Talk obtained a copy of the letter that the Saints sent to Michael Thomas, and the subject of the letter is fine for conduct detrimental to the club. So what he writes here in the key language is that the letter is to notify you you've been fined in the amount of $58,823.53 for engaging in conduct detrimental to the club. He writes, Florio writes, in other words, Thomas was fined, not suspended. Now, he goes on to talk about the difference in a fine in the amount of one game check and a one-game suspension means that Michael Thomas's future guarantees are not voided. Apparently, if the Saints had suspended Michael Thomas for conduct detrimental, his future guarantees could have been voided. And then you might have had this gigantic fight between Michael Thomas, the NFLPA, and the Saints for his money, which I would totally understand as well. It is interesting, though. So it begs a very obvious question. Did the Saints just choose to withhold Michael Thomas from the game because of this, but they didn't necessarily legally, in documenting it, classify it as a suspension for that reason? Maybe. But there's some really obvious questions that need to be asked here in follow-up to this. Or was Michael Thomas still injured? Now, remember, the reason that he was left off, there was not a designated injury why Mike Thomas didn't play on Monday Night Football. It wasn't like there was an injury designation for his ankle, which makes you wonder, well, if he wasn't suspended, then why didn't he play if he was healthy? Or is the ankle still bothering him? If it was, why wasn't it then that designated on the injury report? So there just has to be a follow-up here. Either way, to get to like the ultimate like bottom line, let everything fall. Bottom line is, will Michael Thomas play against the Panthers coming off the bye, and is he in good standing with the club? Now, it's worth noting that Saints players today, when meeting with the media, have all vouched for Michael Thomas, and we know what kind of competitor he is. We know what type of passion and fire he has. That sounds all good. So I don't really worry about that, but I am curious then why the Saints, if Thomas wasn't suspended, as Florio's asserting here, why didn't he play on Monday Night Football? Because then there's part of me that's pretty ticked. If he's healthy and he wasn't suspended, why didn't you play him? Because Monday Night Football was a gigantic game for all the reasons we talked about, y'all, leading up to it. The chance to get above 500, keep pace with the Bucs and the Panthers, going into your bye above 500, chance to get healthy with winnable games coming up. All the things we talked about for the last 2 weeks, why that game was so important. And if Mike Thomas was available and you chose not to play him and he wasn't suspended, what gives? Like there's something bigger there. And I'll be very curious to see what comes of it. But again, this is Mike Florio, who obtained the letter that the Saints sent Michael Thomas about his fine, not his suspension, his fine for conduct detrimental to the club. Why did he miss Monday Night Football then? All right, it's that further review. Glad you're hanging out with us here. Love telling you about our friends over at Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. 288-8138, 288-8138, Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, door siding, Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. When you are ready and it's time to move beyond this storm, if you were affected by Delta or Laura, whenever you are ready, Relief Windows is there for you. Brandon Holly and his team, they do beautiful work. They measure twice, install once. They prevent costly errors like what happened post the 2016 flood when fly-by-night window companies came in and they erroneously installed windows and made mistakes and then were gone. And then Relief Windows had to come from behind them, rip out those windows and install new windows, and people ended up paying twice. Do it right the first time, Relief Windows. Lifetime warranty on labor, material, and glass breakage. Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. One other quick note here, and this is now official, that the New Orleans Super Bowl is being moved. This was expected. If you remember, the NFL granted New Orleans the Super Bowl for 2024. And it's only since that Super Bowl was awarded that the NFL has adjusted to a 17-game regular season schedule. Well, the NFL adjusting to a 17-game regular season schedule means the Super Bowl heretofore is pushed back a week. Well, in 2024, the 23 season, the February 2024 Super Bowl, that means the Super Bowl would have been played overlapping with Mardi Gras weekend. And so ultimately, that was not something that was going to be feasible. Now, that, if I'm not mistaken, that has happened. We had this conversation back when this first appeared as though it was going to be an issue. Because if I'm not mistaken, it was 2001 when that happened. There was, of course, 9/11. It pushed the Super Bowl back a week, and it was played in New Orleans, as we know. And if I'm not mistaken, that did overlap with Mardi Gras. So it has been done before in New Orleans, but obviously that wouldn't be an ideal situation considering the amount of police and security and personnel and hotel rooms and all that would need to be available to host both of those major events coinciding with each other. So instead, the NFL owners have unanimously approved that New Orleans will host Super Bowl 59 in 2025, February of 2025. So the 24 season, February of 2025 is when New Orleans will host its next Super Bowl. That year, Mardi Gras doesn't come until March the 4th. So now they have a gap in the Super Bowl schedule. This year, of course, it's in Tampa. Next year, it's in L.A. at SoFi Stadium. The following year, it's in Arizona at State Farm Stadium. So then 2024 is the gap. It's assumed that's going to be Las Vegas, that the Raiders will get a stadium in their new palatial stadium, which looks like a Roomba there in the desert. And Roomba or Zumba? I always mess that up. Is Roomba the dance? Or
no. Roomba is the little robot, that rolls around and vacuums
it looks like the vacuum Roomba.
Yes.
Zumba is the dance class?
Zumba is the dance class. That's exactly how it goes.
That's a Zumba, right?
100%.
You go like this, Brian. You can do guns out.
The little guns, the disco guns. This is so spot on.
That's what they do, right? That's what it is?
100% that's what it is.
It's core work.
It is. It's great core work.
So the Zumba.
No, the Roomba.
Damn it. How am I going to remember that? I always mess that up. Roomba robot. Roomba robot. Roomba
That's
robot.
actually what it is. Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Like room. Like maybe because it's in a room, it cleans your room.
No, it can't be. Because it cleans hallways, too.
So, those are rooms.
Well, I mean, they call it Zumba, but it's not, like, online.
Well, nobody knew what Zoom was when Zumba came about.
Yeah, I know. Also, it's spelled differently.
Oh!
If you doing disco guns isn't a gift by the end of the day, I'm going to be disappointed.
Oh, Craig Schilling's already on it. Don't worry about it. I got something else. Speaking of Vegas, you weren't here yesterday. I thought you quit.
No.
You sure?
Prior engagements. No, I didn't quit.
I mean, we do the show every day, right? 3 to 6?
Wait, every day?
Every day. Monday through Friday, like all of them.
All right.
Okay, just for future reference. Anyway, so yesterday I made my formal plea. Hang on. All right, let me break. Well, no, look, we're already at 4:30. I mean, I'm already late for this break. Let me break. I'll come back. I'll do this. There's really something we talked about yesterday on the show. Today, there's really good news about it. It involves Vegas. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by the Baton Rouge General Hospital, brgeneral.org. brgeneral.org for the Baton Rouge General Hospital, part of the Mayo Clinic Care Network. With the Mayo Clinic Care Network, of course, the world-renowned Mayo Clinic in Minneapolis, they've expanded their network and they give exclusivity. So in certain markets, different health systems can be part of their network. What that means is that your local doctor, your physician here at the Baton Rouge General can consult with the award-winning world-class physicians at the Mayo Clinic and have access to their world-class research at no extra cost to you. So your doctor here can collaborate with specialists at the Mayo Clinic to give you the best care possible at no extra cost to you. That's the Baton Rouge General continuing to expand care. The Baton Rouge General and the Mayo Clinic are working together. That's the Baton Rouge General Hospital. Learn more at brgeneral.org. The Baton Rouge General Hospital, part of the Mayo Clinic Care Network.
$10,000 off MSRP on a new 2020 Ford F-150. Buy a new one for less than a used one. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
They are exactly the same.
They're identical. Actually, they're not. Has to also has antioxidant vitamin C.
Antioxidant?
Then we'll take Has to.
Given the choice, why wouldn't you choose the one with antioxidant vitamin C? Choose Vizzy Hard Seltzer.
Service Master Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Saban office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Saban have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Peyton was awesome the whole time, like so friendly, very quick to just come up, like let me know if there's anything you need, and just really make you feel like you're taken care of and you're kind of part of their little law family.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Okay, so yesterday on the show, we went through bowl projections. And USA Today has 12 SEC teams in bowl games. Sorry, Vandy and Mizzou. Mizzou, right? Poor Mizzou. They just beat LSU. You would think, hey, look, Mizzou, they beat LSU. Yeah, they're going to bowl. Well, and what I pointed out was that I would very much be in favor, because if you know how the bowl pecking order works out, the College Football Playoff Selection Committee chooses the playoff and then the New Year's Six game. So this year the playoff is Rose and Sugar, and then they place teams in Orange, Fiesta, Peach, Cotton. Okay, so they place the New Year's Six. With respect to the SEC, the Citrus gets to pick its participant. Generally, it's going to be the next team with the next best record. After that, every other bowl game, regardless of what your perception is of Outback or Gator or Texas or Music City or Liberty, they're all in the eyes of the way the structure works now for the SEC. They're all the same. And it's just placing teams in games where they think they can create the best matchups and have the best fan engagement, etc. Well, a new part of the SEC rotation is the Las Vegas Bowl. And I have said I would love to see LSU play in that game because it's Vegas.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
It's in the new Raider Stadium, which is shaped like a Roomba, not a Zumba. And you get to play a Pac-12 opponent. So instead of playing like a crummy Mountain West or whack opponent like used to be in the Las Vegas Bowl out at Sam Boyd Stadium, you could have like Cal or whatever. I'm not saying it's a super attractive game, but Cal or something like that. That would be cool to go play in Vegas, a trip to Vegas, play in that beautiful stadium against a Pac-12 team. Like, that's a win-win-win-win-win, right? Like, would you rather play, I don't know, man, like Memphis in the Liberty Bowl or Cal in the Las Vegas Bowl? Hey, Brent.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
Cal, let's try that again. Or Cal in the Las Vegas Bowl.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
It's easy, right? Well, some of you clap back and you're like, hey, man, you better stop smoking rope talking about LSU going to a bowl game this year. And I pointed out to all of you that there was a petition from the NCAA Oversight Committee to waive bowl eligibility requirements for this year because it's such a wackadoo year. And they want to make sure they have enough bowl-eligible teams. Well, Brett McMurphy of Stadium Sports tweeted just a bit ago, good news. All 127 FBS teams playing this fall are immediately bowl eligible. The NCAA has officially approved the no-win requirements to play in a bowl. The bad news, only 78 teams are needed to fill 39 bowls this year. But you better believe that even if LSU goes 1-9, if they lose every other game, somebody's picking LSU to be in their bowl game. Like LSU, the defending champ, is going to a bowl regardless. I mean, they're going to win enough games to be in a bowl game anyway in a traditional year. I know y'all think they're going to lose out. Some of y'all chicken littles, but there's enough talent to win. Anyway, so I want to lobby. Brandon, are you on board with this? I said yesterday, let's lobby the Las Vegas Bowl. Let's get every LSU fan to just bombard the Las Vegas Bowl Twitter and say, let's make this happen. SEC, Pac-12, Las Vegas Bowl. Let's do it. What do you think?
I mean, I don't see a downside to it. I mean, the only thing they could do is go up from there.
I mean, would you rather be in the Music City Bowl?
No, this is different.
Do you want to go play
different?
Do you want to go play Minnesota at 10 a.m. on New Year's Day in Tampa?
No.
I'll vomit on myself if I have to watch that again. Was Iowa they played? Oh, great.
Was that Outback?
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Vegas Bowl.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
At Las Vegas Bowl, y'all. Go follow them. Go follow the Las Vegas Bowl on Twitter and bombard them and say, LSU fans want to be in Vegas this year.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
You're not nearly liberal enough with the drop, Rain.
I'm trying to multitask.
Well, in this moment, when I'm engaging you in conversation and in this bit,
yeah,
just,
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
Be liberal with the drop.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
Yes.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
That's what I'm talking about.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
At Las Vegas Bowl on Twitter.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
Follow them.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
Tweet at them.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
And let's get LSU in the Las Vegas Bowl.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
All right, it's after further review. Glad to have you hanging out with us here.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
Thank you. You're so stupid. Thank you. Real quick, and then we'll break. Brain will have Tigers in the pros. Russ Mitchell next hour. We'll get back to the biggest story of the day, which is that LSU and Florida has been postponed due to COVID-19, a positive test in Gainesville among the Florida team. And also, Ed Ogeron announced that Myles Brennan, had there been a game this weekend, was doubtful for the game. So we've been talking a good bit about that throughout the day. Robert Munson was with us earlier this hour. If you missed it, he filled in a lot of those blanks, dotted those I's, crossed those T's. Every year, USA Today puts out its annual college football coaches salary database. And so they released that today. Kind of got buried among the glut and dump of news. But one of the things that I always look at, and for me, it's never, and I say this often, the salary is never as important as the buyout. It just isn't. Because if your coach is winning, it doesn't matter what you're paying them. Nobody cares what Alabama is paying Nick Saban because he wins all the time. Like, it doesn't matter what they're paying him because he's worth it. But what happens is, what about whenever you pay a coach a lot of money and he's not winning? What does the buyout look like? Do you leave yourself out? So every time a contract is announced, I never look at the dollar figure. I look at the buyout. If it goes badly, did you build yourself a protection where you can get out? And these programs have not. So in the college football, USA Today college football database, there are a handful of programs that are stuck with bad coaches. Or, let me not say bad coaches. Stuck with coaches that are on the hot seat that they can't get rid of. A couple of them are at private schools, so you don't know exactly what the amount is because private schools don't have to disclose coaches' pay. So Clay Helton at Southern Cal, Derek Mason at Vanderbilt, it's unknown what they make and what their buyout is. Will Muschamp at South Carolina, safe to say things ain't going great there and he might be in trouble. Will Muschamp's buyout is $15.378 million. South Carolina would have to pay Will Muschamp $15 million and change to not work. And Ray Tanner, their AD, has talked about the financial bath that they've taken within that program right now because of COVID. The other one in the SEC is Gus Malzahn. Every time he has a modicum of success, Auburn gives him a raise, and now his buyout is $21.450 million. If Auburn wanted to get rid of Gus Malzahn, they'd have to pay him $21 million and change for him to not work. And then you'd have to pay off his staff, and then you'd have to hire a new staff. My point is, these coaches, this is going to be a fascinating test case whenever the coaching carousel starts spinning in December this year. Because you have coaches that very likely would be fired, but with athletic departments hemorrhaging money this year and trying to figure out what they're going to do, people are cutting expenses. I cannot imagine taking on an 8-figure buyout, paying a coach $15 or $21 million to not coach. Keep an eye on that, y'all. It will absolutely impact this year's silly season when the coaching carousel starts to spin. All right, it's After Further Review, brought to you by Pluckers, Nicholson, Bluebonnet, Dine and Carry Out. You don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird. We'll knock out a break. Brain will have Tigers in the pros. Russ Mitchell in 30 minutes. Thanks for being here on AFR.
AFR.
The Baton Rouge Green Tree Spree has been rescheduled for this Saturday at Clegg's Nursery on Segan Lane. So y'all get on by. Actually, the fall into winter is the best time to plant trees. So this is the time to get by Clegg's Nursery, and this Saturday is the day. It is the Baton Rouge Green Tree Spree this Saturday at Clegg's Nursery. It has been rescheduled from last weekend because of the storm that obviously came through. So go see our friends at Clegg's. Make plans to be there this Saturday at the Segan Lane store. On top of that, they've also got plenty of Mobucks and rice bran and deer corn. So if you're a deer hunter, now is the time to get by Clegg's, but you know that better than I do. The greenhouses are full. The weather's going to be fantastic this weekend. Now that there's no LSU game, you've got all day Saturday to get out into your yard and just plant something. And Clegg's Nursery can help. Buy local, shop local at Clegg's Nursery.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one but two NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front to Back Boat Services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front to Back Boat Services.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Set it up backwards. What you did. What?
I said yes, I did. I set it up backwards.
I'm on.
What?
I'm on.
Yeah, you're on. Normally when I point to you.
Like right now?
Yeah.
I don't believe you. Let me know when I'm back from break. Just let me know. Meantime, I'll just sit here and stare longingly at the bottle of Sazerac Rye.
You want that bottle.
Yeah. Hey, how much time?
We've been back for a minute and a half.
Like, we're live on air.
We are live on air.
This is embarrassing. Welcome back, AFR, presented by Pluckers. Glad you're hanging out with us here. Brain Tigers in the Pro.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now. Presented by Kentucky's Best Hemp. Find them online at kysbesthemp.com.
Patrick Queen is the AFC Defensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. Queen had 9 tackles, a sack, a forced fumble, 2 fumble recoveries, and a 53-yard touchdown run on one of those recoveries.
Yeah. He also blindsided Joe Burrow and forced a fumble.
So does Joe Burrow get an assist on the
I
AFC
don't know whether to
Defensive
be
Player of the
happy
Week?
for him or not, man. Like,
of course you'll be happy for him.
The Player of the Week stuff, yeah, but it's like when he forced the fumble on Joey B, should I feel better for Queen or worse for Burrow? That's conflicting.
Now, Burrow had three straight 300-yard games. 3 straight 300-yard games.
Yeah.
Burrow will have plenty of days.
So will Patrick Queen.
Yeah.
But Patrick Queen already plays on a good team. Like, I don't need Patrick Queen to have a great day against the Bengals. They're going to win anyway.
Okay. But you want Patrick Queen to have a good day every day.
You're a good day every day.
I don't know what that means.
You don't know what that means.
PFF has ranked their top 10 rookies to this point in the season. Justin Jefferson comes in at number 2. Jefferson currently leads Minnesota in receiving yards at 371. That's good for actually 13th in the league as well.
Is he the only one?
Only Tiger rookie that's on that list?
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you asked that question, Matt, because Damian Lewis comes in at number 6.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Boy, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I guess just when you're an interior lineman, you started every game. But he did get hurt in that Atlanta game.
Yes.
He didn't play good either.
No, but he's been back to form on the run game.
Good.
Or at least that's the way that PFF described it. And if you want to feel a little bit better for Joe Burrow, he was number 8 on the list.
And who else?
That is it.
No way.
Patrick Queen's not on the list.
Discard the list.
Clyde's not on the list.
Well, I could believe that. But
why?
After the first game, Clyde hasn't really popped. I mean, he's played well. What?
He's catching passes out of the backfield.
You're thinking of it just from a fantasy standpoint. That's your problem.
No, an overall production standpoint.
You made me look up his overall production. Probably set the bar too high for himself that first week.
Yeah, he may have.
Anyway, but he could walk right under it. You get it?
Yeah, I did get it.
Short.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
I mean, there's 2 running backs on the list.
Okay.
And they are James Robinson in Jacksonville and Antonio Gibson that plays for the football team. In Washington. Clyde didn't make the cut.
It really should just be a list of LSU players.
How does Patrick Queen not make that list?
That's absurd. That in my mind, that invalidates the whole list. Like, at some point, I don't care what your metrics say. I'm watching football, and this guy's leading his team in tackles. He's a freak show Adonis. Nobody can block him. He's making plays in every phase of the game. Like, if he's not on your list is not valid.
That's correct.
Yes.
But that's not to take anything away from Justin Jefferson, Damian Lewis, or Joe Burrow.
And where's Lloyd?
Another good question.
Starting at center for Denver. Is it all because Denver stinks?
Probably. Burrow's on there and Cincinnati stinks. One other note, Alex Bregman is the lone remaining Tiger in this MLB season.
Not for long.
Yeah, a rough night last night. Bregman went 0 for 3. Astros are back at it in the ALCS tonight at 7:40. And that's Tigers in the Pros.
Presented by
KYSBestHemp.com. KYSBestHemp.com.
Kentucky's Best Hemp. Inflammation, anxiety, trouble sleeping. I take a Kentucky's Best Hemp gummy every night before I go to bed. And you would be amazed at how soundly that you sleep if you have trouble falling asleep or staying asleep. Try Kentucky's Best Hemp. Use the promo code AFR30. That's AFR30, AFR30, and get 30% off your order at
KYSBestHemp.com. KYSBestHemp.com.
Oh, was that hard to do when I was on remote the other day?
It sounded bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was it was less than a half a second of latency there, but it was just enough to make it off.
Wrapping up hour number 2. Hump Day Show is brought to you by Pluckers. Russ Mitchell in 20 minutes from right now will preview the week ahead in the Southeastern Conference, which will not include LSU-Florida. If you haven't heard the news, LSU-Florida postponed. Get you up to date on that when we come back after the top of the hour. And a prominent college football head coach has tested positive for COVID-19. We'll tell you who, but Sportscenter will probably tell you coming up here shortly, so just stay tuned.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service, ShawbillsTire.com, 18 locations in South Louisiana. Find the location nearest you at ShawbillsTire.com. We're not going to chant. You thought I was going to chant that one? No. Maybe.
There's no cadence there.
There could be.
Besides, Shawbills, it's just going to be Terrio screaming it at the top of his lungs.
You have no cadence. ShawbillsTire.com, 18 locations. That's pretty good. 18 locations in South Louisiana. Find the location nearest you. Right now, you can get up to $100 off when the Saints come rolling in. That's the package that they're offering right now at Shawbills. $70 off with the purchase of 4 eligible Bridgestone tires, plus $30 when you use your Shawbills credit card. Learn more at ShawbillsTire.com. Just another way that Shawbills finds ways to get you the best possible prices for the best tires on the road. And, of course, they'll treat you like family like they've done for more than 50 years. Shawbills, where we keep you rolling.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At Cordell Toyota in Opelousas, you can get into a Tundra for $7,000 off MSRP. That's right, $7,000 off MSRP. And we have plenty in stock. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Cordell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers, offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Prompt, professional, reliable. If you're looking for a breath of fresh air with your AC and heating needs, call the professionals at Anison Bitter. Anison Bitter, a Rheem Pro partner, keeping your family comfortable for over 25 years.
Callahan Injury Lawyers.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown with breaking news. ESPN's Tom Rinaldi reports Alabama coach Nick Saban has tested positive for COVID-19. Saban immediately left the football facility today. The second-ranked Crimson Tide host number 3 Georgia on Saturday night. The LSU-Florida game Saturday has been postponed to December 12th. Florida shut down football activities this week after 19 positive tests. The Patriots back on the practice field tomorrow, and ESPN's Field Yates reports quarterback Cam Newton will be there. He may be ready to start Sunday's game against the Broncos. 12 days ago, Newton first tested positive for COVID-19. The Panthers haven't had any positive tests, but after playing the Falcons, the team has now voluntarily entered the league's new intensive protocol. The Braves lead the Dodgers 2-0 in the NLCS. Dodgers manager Dave Roberts.
Obviously we built a lot of momentum there. We just need to ride it into today, and then win a game today and just stay on the wave. But we have to get it started today for sure.
And our ESPN radio.
Coming up Thursday, can the Dodgers get back on track in the NLCS, or will they be headed for another October collapse? Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin, Thursday, 6 Eastern, ESPN Radio, ESPN News.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
The Brain.
And the brain got a poop.
And Mr. Toby Tom Play. We're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Oh, by the way, it's a hump day. Shout out to Craig Schilling.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
The GOAT.
It's hump day.
Brain asked for a gif of me doing the guns up, rolling rumba dance.
Hump day.
Zumba dance. It's already up, Brain. See it?
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
I've seen it. He nailed it.
Nailed it. There it is.
It's hump day.
At T. Craig Schilling on Twitter. Get a little bit of that, Paul. There it is.
Hump day.
Save it, folks. Eat your hearts out.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Russ Mitchell in 12 minutes.
It's hump day.
No LSU-Florida game this week.
Hump day.
Chicken Littles are rejoicing.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Nick Saban has COVID.
It's hump day.
Asymptomatic.
Hump day.
Feeling good.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Bet she coaches this weekend.
It's hump day.
Want to bet?
There's no way.
Want to bet?
Hump
Sure.
day.
Okay. What do you say no way?
I mean, based off of protocols, he's got to sit out. He's got to quarantine, doesn't he?
We don't know how long he's had it.
Then he would have been on violation for coaching last week.
Not if they didn't know he had it. You could produce a false negative, just like you could produce a false positive. Thank you. So Nick Saban, if you've missed it, has tested positive now for COVID-19. That is the breaking news. Steve Sarkisian is coaching the team right now. Nick coached the team via, I guess, Zoom or whatever. So Heather Dinich from ESPN at CFB. Heather, Saban said he found out earlier this afternoon he was positive. He's not experiencing symptoms. I informed the team via Zoom at 2 o'clock today. Steve Sarkisian will oversee preparations at the football complex while Saban works from home. So if he's asymptomatic and can produce back-to-back negative tests, then he can coach. So actually the bigger surprise for me is that Nick didn't somehow falsify COVID tests. I mean, a guy who has made his career finding a way to keep compliance and other people away from his program to be able to allow guys like Tim Williams with 15 weed tests to never miss a game. I mean, I'm just really surprised. I'm not surprised that Saban is asymptomatic because as we've chronicled, Nick Saban has made a deal with the devil. Like, he'll live forever and he's going to win a bajillion championships. He's like the chick in the Austin Powers movie, like the henchwoman that's trying to kill him, the assassin. And she gets stabbed and shot and she just won't die. And then they fall from like a 50-story building and he lands on her and she still won't die. He's like, why won't you die? That's Nick Saban. He's just never going to die. So, anyway, so I'll be interested to see. That certainly changes the dynamic of of Alabama, Georgia, LSU, Florida. Of course, we'll talk about it in a second. But Alabama, Georgia is this weekend from Tuscaloosa. It certainly changes the dynamic if Nick Saban isn't there. We know Mike Norvell, of course, missed his team's game for Florida State a few weeks back when he was positive for COVID. So we will we'll keep our eye on this to see if Nick Saban is able to coach this weekend against Georgia or if it'll be Steve Sarkisian in the interim. What we know now is that LSU and Florida will not be played this weekend. Scott Strickland, the athletic director at Florida, made that announcement earlier today in a teleconference with the media. One brain, please. Scott Strickland made this announcement earlier today.
Due to a significant number of COVID cases, we are unfortunately announcing a postponement of the Florida LSU game that was scheduled for Saturday, and have worked with Scott Woodward, the athletic director at LSU, along with the SEC office, Charlie Hussey, Mark Womack, and of course Commissioner Sankey, to tentatively have rescheduled that game for December 12th, which, as you know, was a date put in the league schedule for circumstances like this, because we anticipated there might be issues as we went through the season.
Now, when Robert Munson, LSU Senior Associate AD, was with us last hour, he underscored that as well, that December the 12th is a tentative date and that it could change. Now, if it changed, it would be based on shuffling other schedules as well, which we hope doesn't happen. But as you heard Scott Strickland say there, the SEC, when it built its schedule, built each team an open date, and then that week of December 12th is a buffer in case if there were positive tests, this inevitable outbreak, that they had a spot on the schedule to play that game. So that's where LSU and Florida will go for now. The good news is what we just know, is that young people aren't affected by this, is that the Florida players are feeling well.
Fortunately, all those who are positive in this instance, including some coaches and some football staff, they seem to either be asymptomatic or only experiencing mild symptoms. So that's obviously a positive right now. Hopefully they'll continue to not have more severe symptoms.
Scott Strickland, this, of all the things he said today in that press conference, maybe the most surprising is that some of the players who tested positive were having symptoms a week ago.
And again, a lot of this is anecdotal, but from talking to our sports health staff, a couple of our athletes who have tested positive since coming back from that trip subsequently reported that late last week they had what they thought were allergy type symptoms. One of them was congested, one had a headache, and they did not report those symptoms as we have an expectation they do so, because they didn't think it was anything other than just seasonal type cold that we experience through allergies or whatever. So there's a suspicion that maybe that is what helped make this an event that had this kind of spread.
It's certainly worth keeping an eye on what happens with Texas A&M, because if you had players that were symptomatic and had COVID-19 from Florida and then played Texas A&M on Saturday, could you see an outbreak among the Texas A&M team as well that's worth watching. And when we get that information from Texas A&M, we'll certainly let you know. Scott Strickland also mentioned the possibility that some of these players feared this, that maybe they weren't reporting symptoms because of the fear of missing a game.
I don't want to speculate as to what the mindset was. I really think it could be as simple as not understanding symptoms. And, I know people personally who have had the sniffles, and a friend of theirs was COVID positive, so they went and got tested and found out they had it, and they thought they just had, something pretty common. So understanding, your own body and being on the lookout to be suspicious when you do have any kind of abnormality, whether it's a headache or sniffles or fatigue, whatever it may be. As a college student, you have those things, and it's not uncommon.
And maybe for 99.98% of our population, it'll be the sniffles, and that's about it. But we continue to chase numbers, and we continue to shove Q-tips up kids' noses who are going to be asymptomatic or experience only mild symptoms, and it's nonsensical, but here we go, because more right-thinking people are afraid to speak up. Physicians who I've had conversations with who agree, who feel the same way that I do. And I say, will you talk about that on the radio? And they say, no, I can't do that. For fear of what you Chicken Littles will say or do. It's unfortunate. I'm going to keep speaking up, though. It's some way I'm going to be able to say this, that it's going to penetrate your consciousness to where you'll understand that testing and quarantining and isolating young, healthy people that aren't affected by this is foolish. Ruining our way of life is foolish. We've identified what categories of people are at risk. Let's take the necessary steps to protect those people, and then let's go on with our lives. All the ranting and raving we did yesterday. And I continue to have people say, well, lives are what matters, not sports. I'm like, this isn't about sports. By the way, the thing about LaToya in New Orleans, Mary Cantrell, is that our state regulations allow for there to be fans in attendance. She's the the regulations allow for it. Of the 15 NFL venues and dozens of college venues that have had games with fans, please point to me the very notable spikes in positive cases and fatalities in those areas after these games have been held. Please, anybody? Right. You're chasing numbers. And if you're chasing numbers, you will be chasing forever. But it's after further review. Let's recap last week in the SEC. Look ahead with Russ Mitchell when we come back next. It's AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001. I learned that firsthand this past weekend. Woke up Sunday. House was hot. Called River City's 1 Hour Air on a Sunday. They were out to our house early afternoon. Found out that our IC went kaput. Before they'll replace an entire unit, they always get a second opinion. Had a second technician at my house 6 o'clock on Sunday evening to make sure that there was nothing else they could do to revive that unit. It was, in fact, kaput. Monday and Tuesday, they were at our house installing the new AC, and we now have air. River City's 1 Hour Air. Take the time to do it right. They install it right. They make sure that they present every single option to you so you can make the best, most informed decision, and you're going to feel comfortable with who's in your home. It's River City's 1 Hour Air, 752-0001, 752-0001, or online at onehourbr.com. Spell it out, O-N-E, onehourbr.com. For River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hello?
What's up, B?
What you doing?
Chilling at the office working. You?
Hanging at the job site. Chilling.
Roof's up.
Hey, Greg, roof up? Roof's up. Roof's up.
Roof's up.
Roof's up?
Roof's up.
Roof's up! Roof's up! Beautiful roof every single time.
True.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Saban office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Saban have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as a bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Here you go.
All right. Top speed.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
I think Ross is going to be a great coach.
Russ Mitchell.
Kicking the tires and lighting the fires.
Russ!
Literally.
Well, I'm proud of Russ. I think Russ deserves it.
If they give you a nickname, you're good.
Rusty, come on up here. I'm getting tired of saying Tigers. There's too many Tigers in the league already.
I want you to stay here and take care of things, Russ.
You know, I mean, they're going to run this kid around like a rented step-headed mule.
You know, I haven't had much of a chance to talk to you man to man, Russ.
I'm a guy who spends all day breaking down Kentucky football.
Not going in our yard, Russ. It's going in our living room.
And I'm calling you out, man. We'll cut this clip and send it out there to Spurrier and the fellas.
It's like Troy.
Take it, Russ.
All right, let's do it. Russ Mitchell, college football news. Talking a little college football. How are you?
Kicking the tires, lighting the fires. You know, the one advantage of falling out of the top 25 is that they don't count after 25, so you don't have to see how much farther you fall. So,
how mad were you on Saturday? Honestly, like
I love all my children. I love all my children the same.
That's not true. I know it's not true. So,
I mean, it's as true as any parent when they say it, right? I love all my children the same. I love all my children the same. I was proud. Let me put it this way. I was proud for Missouri and their rookie quarterback who's never started. It's like, so inexperienced. I was proud to see him throw for as many yards as he did against the defending national champion Louisiana State University Fighting Tigers.
But?
No, but.
What did you think about the defending national champion Louisiana State University Fighting Tigers not scoring from inside the 2-yard line on 4 plays or allowing a freshman quarterback to throw for 400 yards against them?
How about those last 4 plays, huh? What did that remind you of?
The first drive of the second half of Mississippi State?
It reminded me also of the Florida game where we were down knocking on the door and couldn't get in. I just said, wait, I know.
Brain! Where's the ding?
Damn.
No. Got him! But he loves all his children the same, everybody. He loves them all
I love
the
all
same.
my children the same.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
It's a hard day to wear P&G on Saturday.
I don't know.
And
I love that you just said we.
I know. It's just so stupid. So stupid.
Wait, what Florida game were you talking about?
35 years of doing this. And it's like, until 2019, I had no trouble not saying that. See, that's the problem with like a season like 2019, that it just skews everything up, man.
Oh, you were talking about the Edo interim game with guys going the wrong way.
You know, it's so funny because everybody's jumping on the defense, and you have every right to. And it just, boy, it looks good. It looks really good when State scores 2 points to Kentucky, 3 weeks after breaking the SEC record, the entire history of the sport for and then they go to 24. It's like against Kentucky. It's like, are you kidding me?
They benched Costello.
It's like you lose to Missouri and you think, oh, I can't get any worse than this. And then you look up and it's 24-2. You're like, you just put the Clemson game on, man. That's what you do. You put on the Clemson game.
Oh,
you put your earmuffs on. You're like, I'm not going to listen to anything. I'm just going to watch Joe Burrow throw the ball.
It was a beautiful thing to watch. 24-2.
24-2.
Oh,
you know what I'm calling it now? Someone's got to trademark this and make some T-shirts.
Okay. I know a guy.
It's the 15-0 Joe Glow. That's what it is, man.
Okay.
It's LSU. Every LSU fan still stuck in the 15-0 Joe Glow.
See, I thought maybe after the first game that was true, Russ, but the amount of fury, the vitriol post-game and this week, it's over. The Mississippi State one, now, no, like people are like, the Fire Pelini crowd is out. Every question you would assume people are asking right now, they're yelling. The people here are pissed now. Like that afterglow thing, that has burned out now. It's over.
Not the least of which is, and like people are laughing, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like it's kind of, I'm not going to say it takes the shine off last year, because it doesn't. Last year exists in its own bubble. But, this is, I hate this word, and I never use this word, but I'm going to use it right now.
Okay.
This is stupid. There's no reason for this. I mean, there's Missouri doesn't have close to the talent that LSU does. Come on, man.
Yep.
Not even close. If you're just, and by the way, everyone's blaming just the defense, Fire Pelini. Y'all are dead frickin' last in the SEC in converting on third down. You know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously.
Still score 40. So scored 41 points and won the turnover margin 3-0. You should win that game. 100
Yes,
100 times out of 100.
But if you go 5 out of 10 on third down, the final score is 60-20. You know what I mean?
41's enough.
But actually, you know what? Truthfully, 41 is more than enough. Even in this crazy world that we live in, you know, where like Alabama scores touchdowns on 8 consecutive plays on the road, 8 consecutive possessions on the road, they score touchdowns. It's like, what are we? Like, are we the Big 12? Do you know how hard Saturday was for me? I mean, like, it was for a guy who loves defense. You know, Saturday was a very difficult day.
So answer your own question. Is the SEC the Big 12?
No, I think that because we're seeing offenses all over the country do better than defenses. You even see it in some level to the NFL as well. I think it's this, you know, summer that we had where we did not, all of football, didn't play. It would be interesting. You know, I don't follow high school, so I don't have a perspective down that far. But, you know, this not preparing for football the way we always have and not having contact drills the way we always have. But, man, you know, it's October now, so, you know.
All right.
I will say that the Ole Miss Alabama game, I presume you guys have talked about that, but that was just, again, I'm going to use this word, stupid. It was stupid. Like, what are we doing?
Scoring a lot of points.
Are we even trying? Like, it's not like. I mean, there was some hurry up in that game, but not the stupid hurry up. You know, I mean, there was tempo, but it's like, come on, man, play some defense. Guys were so gassed in that game by the end, they weren't even trying.
Yes. Okay, wait, real quick. Well, in this segment, and we'll look ahead in a second, but I got to get a thought on A&M beating Florida.
Boy, A&M looked good, man. Mond had probably the best game he's ever had. Looked really sharp. I thought Trask looked good, too. Trask has been fantastic. But Florida's defense, again, I mean, not that much different than LSU's defense. You know, one step warmer than LSU's defense. And then to listen to Mullen after the game make an ass out of himself, which it's so interesting because he's never really struck me as that kind of guy. Blaming the crowd. Yeah, sure, the crowd came down closer to the field, and but that stadium wasn't even close. 100%. Good Lord, have mercy, Mullen. You know, but they did well. They ran the ball well. Their defense stood up when they needed to, and Mond was perfect. You know, the interesting thing is how you can go. I mean, think about where they were 7 days before, getting absolutely embarrassed, annihilated by Alabama. And 7 days later, it's like people have just completely forgotten it.
They didn't get annihilated by Bama. It was Russ. It was 3 plays in that game. It was 3 deep balls that A&M gave. And look, Bama made the plays because they got better athletes. But that wasn't an up and down the field ass whipping. That was 3 deep balls that Alabama hit. And that was the difference in your ball game.
And what was the final score in that game?
52-24.
52-24 is an ass kicking, brother.
Russ, you watched that game, and so
I did.
I.
Watched it twice.
But there is a big difference between just physically whipping someone's ass up and down the field all day and Alabama hitting 3 deep balls over the top for 70-plus yard scores. It's different if you're putting together a 10-play, 85-yard drive over 6 minutes over and over and over again, and they cannot stop you from doing whatever you want to do. A&M, like I talked about this all last week, man. A&M moved the ball all day against Bama. They were going to score against Florida. That's a good offense, man. I'm not telling you they're elite, and certainly now without their receiver
we
towards
talked
ACL,
about that.
good offense.
We talked about it at the Vandy game when we said that they were running a vanilla offense. Don't think that what they did against Vandy, right? And then you saw that the offense could move the ball. But, I think what it showed was the difference between Alabama's offense and Florida's offense. And, I'm sorry, brother, would you say Alabama was able to run the ball at will up and down against Ole Miss? But they didn't blow away Ole Miss, right? Because Ole Miss was able to do what they did offensively to Alabama.
That was
they
a competitive game. That was tied at half. That was a one-score game going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, well, that's my point. My point is, if the definition of being able to blow someone out is being able to go up and down the field without them stopping you, well, Alabama was able to go up and down the field against Ole Miss. So then by your definition, they blew out Ole Miss. I didn't think so.
But the other side of the ball, Russ, has to matter. So I'm saying he didn't do that.
All right, now we've kind of lost each other.
Maybe so. All right,
I'm certainly lost.
Let's break, regroup, and we'll look ahead at the games this weekend. Russ Mitchell's with us from College Football News. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Insurance Network of Louisiana. They're online at lainsurance.net, lainsurance.net. Better coverage for less money at Insurance Network of Louisiana. This process is easy, okay? I'm gonna make this as simple as I can. Get your phone and call this number, 293-0450. 293-0450. It's a 225 number. You'll call. They'll take some information about your current insurance, and that's all you do. Then they go do the rest. They shop. You could do it yourself. You could get on the phone and call dozens of companies to shop to see if any of them can give you a better policy than you currently have. Or you can let Insurance Network of Louisiana do it for you for free. Let them use the relationships they have with some of the top insurance providers in the world to see if they can get you better coverage for less money. 293-0450. 293-0450 or online, lainsurance.net.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID-19 pandemic, your bravery and selflessness represent the very best of us, and we want to say thank you. I'm asking everyone around the state to join me in celebrating the heroism of our healthcare professionals on the 19th of every month at 1900 hours, that's 7 p.m. Write a note of appreciation, make plans to donate to charitable organizations, or say a prayer. To learn more, visit 19thanks.org. Thank you, and God bless.
At GMFS Mortgage, thanks to you, we've been changing lives for over 21 years. So far this year, that includes providing thousands of meals for the homeless, donating and helping raise $125,000 for the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, feeding hundreds of police officers during the stay-at-home order, and feeding local nursing homes. So if you're ready to buy, build, renovate, or refinance, choose a local lender that's changing lives in our community. Choose GMFS Mortgage today.
This isn't just another day, it's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front to Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one but two NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front to Back Boat Services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front to Back Boat Services.
Here at
Corval Toyota, we don't just sell cars, we buy them too. Bring your car in so we can see it, and within minutes, you can turn your car into cash or trade it in towards your next vehicle. It's a fast and easy process. We buy your car at Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, presented by Plucker's Wing Bar, open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All right, we continue with Russ Mitchell college football news. He's on Twitter at Russ Mitchell CFB. Nick Saban positive for COVID. Do they play that game this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, if it's just the coach, absolutely.
What do you think, man? Brain said, what do you think the odds are of Saban going to get his entire team infected so that way they don't have to play and they can postpone? Wouldn't that be the most Saban thing ever? Wouldn't it be the most Saban thing ever?
It would, but the most Alabama thing ever would be to cancel the game if they didn't want Saban to be there. I mean, if they wanted Saban there and they felt that they were at a disadvantage. I mean, Saban's not going to be there. He's going to have to isolate himself for a period of time, just like the Florida State coach did,
Norvell,
just like
yeah.
any person has to.
Well,
Yeah.
if he can produce, if he's asymptomatic and can produce back-to-back negative tests, then he could coach. So there is a possibility he could be there on Saturday.
He's not going to be there on Saturday.
Maybe. We'll see.
So I don't think Saban is that great. I mean, all the Saban acolytes out there, brace yourself. He's not that great of a game day coach. He's a good game day coach. But the thing that makes him unique is attention to detail, the fact that he's the greatest recruiter in the history of college sports. He gets so much talent there, and that he's just a Nazi. And, and forces everybody
Can you say that?
Well, I mean it in the most lovely way possible, I guess. I
don't know, man. I think if you say the word Nazi, you get fired. I'm going to get fired because I just said that.
Yeah. I think that it clearly his attention to detail and the focus on the process, and every LSU fan knows this because he coached there, but, and his ability to be able to, it's the, a little bit of the 5 rings. Don't worry about if you die. Just focus on being the best you can possibly be. And if you focus on being the best, there is no failure because you're just the best that you can be. And he gets that out of his kids usually, and that's why he's able to has had so much success. It's not really the game coach, the game day decision making.
What do you think, Georgia at Bama? How does that go?
Yeah, I mean, Bama. I looked it up during the break. They can. Think about the number of yards that they've allowed. Nearly 500 yards to A&M, and tons of yards to Ole Miss. So this is an Alabama defense that, if you're worried about whether or not Stetson can put up some points, look, Bennett's done a good job. He's not making mistakes. He's hitting downfield throws. He throws the ball downfield. I mean, better than Jake Fromm did last year statistically, and he's getting a lot. And the other thing is, that was we talked about the number of people LSU has lost. It's going to be a tough year, man. They lost a ton of people on the offensive line, And meanwhile, Bennett's getting forever to throw the ball. That offensive line is doing a very good job for Georgia. And the other thing that's interesting is that I think that they've made some really good adjustments at halftime on the defensive side. If you look at the Arkansas game and the Tennessee game, both of those you had, much more competitive first halves. And then in the second half, bang, the wall comes down and they just, take off. Problem is it's Arkansas and Tennessee, man.
Yeah.
This is Alabama.
No.
This isn't Arkansas, Auburn, and Tennessee offenses. This is the Alabama offense. So, I think the Tide were able to put away Missouri. They were able to put away A&M both early, and they coasted. The defense is allowing a lot of plays. I think this is going to be a really exciting game. But Mac Jones is hitting on 80% of his passes. Harris is playing like a Heisman candidate. Smith and Waddle are both playing like they're the best wide receiver in the country.
So
I like Alabama at home.
Okay. 4 other games, and we have about 4 minutes, so let's roll through them. Auburn at South Carolina. Seems cut and dried. Yeah, are you optimistic about Carolina making a game of this? Only a 3-point line.
I'm picking South Carolina.
Why? Interesting.
Well, if you look at it from the positive perspective from Auburn, it is the second worst offense right now in the SEC. They're just not doing very well offensively, but they're not losing the ball. They only have that one. Well, the Arkansas fans would claim differently, but they only have the one.
How brutal was that? Oh my! We talked about. I know. I don't want to deviate, but my God, they stole a win from Arkansas. That is crazy.
God. So only one. Can you imagine that happening to Alabama? Only one lost turnover so far, the interception to Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not struggling as much as Auburn's offense. But, if you've been paying attention to Connor Hill, he's only thrown one interception. They haven't been that bad. At the end of the game, the thing Carolina has going against itself right now, Carolina, by the way, has played well in their games, even when they lose. The last time South Carolina beat Auburn, you want to guess?
Golly.
Long time ago.
Well, obviously they're not even going to play but every 8 to 10 years because of the stupid scheduling cycle. I'm trying to think.
No kidding. 1933.
Oh,
That's
stop
the last time. I swear to God.
Oh,
last
my God.
time, 1933. Auburn's 10-1-1 in the series.
Wow.
And, the problem is Bo Nix isn't accurate enough. He has not been accurate enough this year. That's why they're nearly dead last in offense. And Auburn without offense, this isn't the same defensive line that we saw last year. I like South Carolina.
Okay.
I think time of possession is the issue, and I think South Carolina will stop them more times.
Kentucky, Tennessee, pick a winner? All these games, the lines are so close. Every one of these games spreads within a touchdown. It's amazing. You should have a really competitive week. I'm excited about this week.
Yeah, I do too. In fact, the only line that's bad is LSU, down 2 touchdowns? The Vols have more offensive balance, so I'll take Tennessee.
Okay. Ole Miss is at Arkansas, 2 teams that are playing way better than most thought they would.
Yeah, I know. It's exciting. The reason Arkansas is playing better really is their defense. Their defense has been terrific at taking the ball away. Offense is still kind of average, even with Felipe, but the defense I've been impressed with. Ole Miss, oh my goodness, man, that is so much fun.
I know.
But have you noticed they've only turned the ball away once?
Weren't you bemoaning the lack of defense, and they're the chief offender?
Yeah, I know, but it's still fun to watch the offense. But can we play a little defense? They're averaging 400 yards a game. They have the second best offense in the nation, and they only have 1 turnover. That's impressive. I like Ole Miss.
And Texas A&M at Mississippi State.
No.
They scored 2 points.
At 2 points.
Oh, God. Remember when KJ Costello was in the Heisman race? Remember when KJ Costello was going to be a first-round pick? Oh, God.
The only thing, by the way, in your credit, you were like, no, let's just wait on this one.
Thank you.
I will say, I'm only going to spend 5 seconds on this and just say, A&M's defense was torched by Alabama and Florida, but I just keep getting back to that 6 turnover 2-point performance.
Russ,
Are we going to do LSU-Florida?
They're not playing.
When did they cancel the game?
This morning.
Oh, my gosh. I missed that.
They moved it to December the 12th. Well, dude, what are you talking about?
Dude, I totally missed that. That is interesting.
Did you just wake up?
No, well, as a matter of fact, I did take a nap from
Are you drunk?
12 to no, I did take a nap from interesting. Well, that blows.
Yeah.
But that's great news for LSU. Thank the baby Jesus. Thank the baby Jesus.
Materially, everything on field postponing this game benefits LSU. I'm not saying they're going to win it December the 12th, but they get healthy. They don't have to go back-to-back-to-back on the road. Brennan was doubtful for this week.
Dude, how's Stingley's ankle?
Yeah, I mean, he'll be fine, but all those guys get to get healthy. Now you have another week to get your defense in order. You get South Carolina at home, which is a very winnable game. I mean, yeah, like everything about this.
Yeah, that game's been moved to 3, or that game's at 3, right? Boy, Trask looks so good. I know people were kind of smirking when I said he was my Heisman frontrunner, but boy, his stats statistically is almost neck and neck with Burrow. At this point, 3 games in, 72% of his passes, 1,000 yards, 14 touchdowns, 1 interception.
Yeah, don't do it, man.
Oh my goodness!
Russ Mitchell,
I got it.
College football
He's looking
news.
good.
Looking
Heisman
good.
candidate.
Looking good. College football news.
The LSU-Florida game was postponed.
Slept until 5 o'clock today. Russ Mitchell. We'll talk to you next week. We'll see you.
I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye. That is Russ Mitchell. This is After Further Review.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Darren James and Associates, powered by eXp Realty. Every home listed by every company, all in one place. Agent225.com. He didn't know that it had been postponed. Where's he been? Agent225.com. Agent225. There is a 2-hour time difference. Agent225.com. Right. Hey, I'm trying to get my point out. Leave me alone, brain. If you're thinking of selling your home, call Darren James, get your home sold. Right now, I was having this conversation earlier today. From the signed purchase agreement to closing, you're talking about like 45 to 60 days right now, just because of the backlog in the system with everybody refinancing and everything. So if you're thinking about selling your home, my goodness, get on the horn now. If you want to be in a new home for the new year or for the holidays, you better get on the phone and call Darren James right now. 335-7666, 335-7666 for Darren James.
Do you know the proper way to prevent the spread of COVID-19 in your office? We do. We're Janney King, a leader in the cleaning industry for over 30 years, and we've developed comprehensive programs to address proper cleaning and disinfection. We have experience in applying disinfecting programs in hospitals, office buildings, schools, and other venues. Now we're ready to help and able to assist customers that need disinfecting services.
Janney King, the king of clean.
Le posso offrire un caffè?
Le posso offrire un caffè?
Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades, and installations.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is a local bank with a straightforward philosophy.
It's about doing the right thing for our customers.
Participating in our community with annual local fundraisers. Offering individual attention in a modern banking atmosphere with a trusted local company. Gulf Coast Bank invested in technology with a local touch, giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime.
We're building relationships through personal service as the bank that cares about you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Service Master Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Going to get to Otter Locks in just a quick second. I wanted to take a moment, share some incredible news. I told you earlier today that the school where my son attends, St. Lillian Academy, which is a special needs school in Baton Rouge, they're celebrating 10 years, and today, first ever Give Day in the history of the school. They were aiming to raise $10,000, and they had a pledge to match up to $10,000. Well, during the day, an additional pledge of $10,000 match came in, so they had the possibility of raising $40,000. So the initial goal to raise $10,000, they hit that goal by lunchtime. They're already over $21,000 raised before the two pledges. So in one day, they're going to raise more than $40,000. And it's only 5:52. I mean, there's still time between now and midnight to give. So St. Lillian, stlillian.org, stlillian.org. If you want to give, literally any donation matters. Any gift matters. So go to St. Lillian, stlillian.org. The link is pinned on my my Facebook and my Twitter. So if you want to give and you want to help an amazing place that helps special needs kiddos like my son Drew, we'd be super, super grateful. So thank you to everyone who has given. That's just phenomenal news. Okay, Otter Locks.
Otter Locks, presented by Hot Rods Creole. The way to Creole. Shop online, hotrodscreole.com.
Otter, please tell me you didn't have the Braves.
No, but St. Lillian had the Dodgers minus the run line, baby. We rolled it over.
Cash in tickets, brother. Cash in tickets. My goodness, for those, the Dodgers are beating the Braves 11-0
Yeah.
They just went to the bottom of the first. Top half of the first, Dodgers put an 11 spot on the board.
Before the playoffs started, we have a plus 350, and the Dodgers win the whole thing.
Oh wow!
And before this started, it was almost a little over even money. But yeah, you fall behind 2-0, but a lot of people didn't know if that run explosion in the ninth inning, where they left a tie run on third base after Bellinger's triple, was going to carry a little momentum. And Kyle Wright, the former number one pick out of Vanderbilt, he's been a go-against guy all year for us, until like the last three starts. But this, I do believe in the hot bats, and we did lay the run line on the podcast earlier today. Also, Matt, I think the yips are real too. I mean, Dusty Baker's got to do his part to DH Altuve. I mean, he's cost him the last two games with his arm. I mean, throw an error, 1 inning, 3 runs. Well, you lose 4-2. What? Throw an error, leads to a 5-run inning, 5-2 final. I mean, it's just it's 4 throwing errors in 3 games.
It's crazy.
I mean, you gotta. It's happened before. It's so strange, but the curse of the garbage can. I guess I don't know.
Hey, I don't know. We got less than 60 seconds. 2 things. I need your bet for tonight, but also, does Saban's possible absence move the line in Bama, Georgia?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. Not much, but I do think so. And it's more on perception. It's not. I don't know. They may adjust it a point, but I think it's more about. But they still, Coastal Carolina has been a good team. ULL's line has been inflated ever since that high-profile win at Iowa State. And maybe so, but we like it's all the way up to 9.5. It's gone from 7.5 to 9.5 with the Coastal Carolina, the Chanticleers. Remember that? I know how to say it.
The Chanticleers. So you got Coastal tonight.
Yes, indeed. And
All right.
Can I ask your opinion of Rod Walker's quote today in his column?
I didn't see it.
It's hard to blame the mayor for the stance she's taken.
Oh, God. I'm glad
Big
only.
Lillian, baby. Roll it over. Big Lillian.
I got 20 seconds left. I got to go. Game time with Jimmy Ott follows us. Otter Locks brought to you by Hot Rods Creole. Promo code AFR gets you free shipping at hotrodscreole.com. Y'all have an awesome night. We'll see you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, we remind you about the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffrey in Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com, theantiagingclinics.com. Maybe you're looking to lose weight. They can hold your hand through the ideal protein diet. Maybe you have stubborn belly fat that you just can't lose no matter how much you diet or exercise. Well, VeloShape, UltraShape, those could help. Maybe you want to beautify your skin. They've got amazing medical-grade supplements that can help, and rich and make healthy your skin again on your face or different parts of your body. The Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana can help you look and feel like your younger self. Hormone replacement therapy online at theantiagingclinics.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Corval Toyota in Opelousas, you can get into a RAV4 for $3,000 off MSRP. That's right, $3,000 off MSRP. And we have plenty in stock. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Choose your fighter. Dax, 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 Dax. With antioxidant vitamin C.
Given the choice, why wouldn't you choose the one with antioxidant vitamin C? Choose Vizzy Hard Seltzer.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Saban office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Saban have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
$10,000 off MSRP on a new 2020 Ford F-150. Buy a new one for less than a used one. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty, and with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
T-Bob Hebert here with breaking news. Front-to-Back Boat Services is the shop to upgrade your boat tech this fall. With not one but two NMEA certified techs, who better to install your Panoptic sonar, your HD displays. You want to see the fish under the water before you even cast? They have that. Trolling motor you could control with your iPhone? They have that. So what are you waiting for? Get into Front-to-Back Boat Services right now. Upgrade your boat tech. Make your boating dreams come true. Front-to-Back Boat Services.
To all of our heroes working on the front lines of this COVID